time for you. Death is a natural phenomenon. God is going to be with you. He's going to counsel you and the rest of your siblings. I'm looking for something that I'm supposed to be doing. So, welcome to the show. Thanks to all of you. We had a wonderful weekend. Like I said, congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Jared Siakor now. And of course, my friend Robert Clark was declared the best man of the year. That how it was. Romeo took by there from Equans Radio, was the MC at the reception. It was a wonderful wedding. Saw a lot of media friends there, and that was the place to be over the weekend. The Bible says, "Once who find a word finds a good thing and gains favor with God." So this morning, I say we'll go to Grand Jita County to talk to our correspondent there, Gabriel Yutu, to tell us about what the issues are, and then later on, if all works well, we will talk to Grand Jita County Superintendent Kai Fale to tell us about the situation there. We're hearing about too much information. Some of the locals they are accusing people. They think that the local authority is not doing well to, arrest the situation. We don't know what the situation is. So over the weekend, the Liberia National Fire Service, it's called the Fire and Rescue Service now, I'm told, graduated 135 firefighters, including 94 females. Wow, that's a very good female representation. It was as a result of the 6 weeks training and brought together international trainers, I understand, from the United States, Nigeria, and Ghana. And so thanks to, what is his name? Colonel Alex Dixon. Yes, I'm not sure. Yes, I missed nothing. Colonel Alex Dixon, thanks to you, thanks to the leadership of the Liberia National Fire and Rescue Service for training additional firefighters. The last time we spoke to the Minister of Finance, we heard there was some monies in the budget for the purchase of firefighting equipment, fire trucks, and all these kinds of things. We hope, you can pull all those monies to be able to buy all of these equipment so that across the country, a lot of things can be okay there. Because there was a time here where fire gutted a lot of facilities. The CH Rennie, Kakata, and other facilities, and all of us as a nation, started to behave like we meant so well. We were focused on the fire situation, but it seems as though we've forgotten again. Probably, maybe we are waiting the firefighters, the fire service, or the Minister of Finance talked about. I was talking about the second autopsy on the remains of Princess Cooper. We'll reach out to Deputy Minister Jalawa Tompo because he's been speaking out about it. We understand the family agreed, and that the government, the family through the government through the family, was trying to bring in 2 pathologists. Minister Tompo said he was not willing to disclose the names of the pathologists yet because a lot of modalities were being worked out. I thought it was fair enough, but we'll reach out to him again to find out what the issues are. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock, I will be talking to Bon County Senator Prince Mui as my guest. But yes, and one of the things I will want Senator Mui to talk to us about, and I will talk about this morning, is this issue about a company operating Bon County called MNG Gold. It's a Turkish mining company. It's been more than 10 years now. Best to my recollection, that company is still operating on an MOU, and I'm not sure whether they've got any mineral development agreement now with the government, or the mineral development agreement they had with the government for the past almost 10 years now. There's been no latest amendment to it, because I know it was not MNG Gold. It started as, I think, Emily Liberia, something like that. I think it started as Emily Liberia, and later on it transitioned into something now called MNG Gold. We want to know, because the last time I checked some of the cities, and these are some of the reasons why there was a time. Okay, let me just take the superintendent of Grand Jita Sand. He's a basic man and he's calling me. Let me just take him right away because I can never tell. Probably if I can take Kainam, I will not be able to take him again. So folks, let's leave the MNG Gold discussion and go into Zwedjurin Grand Jita West Superintendent Kalifale is. So just hold the line. Good morning there.
Good morning, Clarence, and good morning to our good people of Liberia and Grand that comes to Salage.
So Fale, are you speaking to me from Zwedru?
Yeah, my name is Zwedru. I'm speaking this morning from my residence in Zwedru this morning.
Okay, is that the place where the people attended decision?
Sure.
All right, now calm has been restored to Grand Jita, because when we say Zwedru, we're talking about Grand Jita. And Super, how far is this whole investigation about the mysterious disappearance of this man, and what can you tell us?
Well, Clarence, I want to say thank you for providing us this opportunity to be able to speak to our peoples in Monrovia, most especially the Grenadians are there, and Liberians are alive. The investigation is ongoing. Clarence, you know what's happening. We term that as something that happens in the traditional forms. So when the incident happens, we moved there. I was in Monrovia. I started my county's inspector who was acting at the time supporting Dio, and my two principal deputies to go along with him. They was in Niabo when the incident happened. He would talk to the parties there, but was especially the Niabo people where he went to seek medical treatment. We want to go see the herbalist to have to cure. And in that process, we were able to calm the situations. I arrived on the third in the evening times, and I went in to make sure that I would talk to the citizens there on the 4th of this month. We went there, we have meetings with the people, we discuss with them, we ask them to make sure that this issue is an emergency, it's a national issue, the government is concerned, and we as government, local authorities here, we are also concerned. So at each and every one, most especially the citizens of that region where he got missing from, to make sure that make it that priorities to see how best we all can make sure that we get our young men alive and know his locations. So we set the team were comprised of the joint security with us in the bushes. Myself on the governance on Thursdays and Tuesdays I was there. We also went to the village where the herbalist were treating him was there along with the joint security, and the sex were ongoing for the couples are there as we speak. The sex is ongoing. But what we're asking our citizens to do is to make sure to remain calm, to make patients who know that this process has been long, almost 2 weeks. But what we can do is that we cannot do this, or we cannot achieve this process by finding a boss in the violence or in the noise.
I know we will come to that one. When you were speaking initially, you said this thing is traditional. What do you mean?
No, what I'm trying to say, what I mean, the issue is traditional because he never went to hospitals. He went to a herbalist. So in the herbalist, he go to herbalist to go and seek treatment, and it become traditional because I have not gone to herbalist before to say I'm going to take treatment of my side hurting, my stomach hurting me. So if somebody go to herbalist, the only thing that we can do in that process to make sure that we find traditional people in the herbalist.
Okay.
So we want to, the one say it's issue of traditional, but we want to herbalist.
I listened to one of your caucus members, Representative Elif Chesia Grant, and I wanted to play it later on. When he was speaking on state radio, at some point in time, he spoke as though, well, this thing is not strange, because he even mentioned that his brother-in-law got missing, and he mentioned that somebody got missing up to now. The person has not been found, and then he said he presented a picture by saying in a Kran dialect, he was not able to say English, but some kind of thing can catch people, and when you follow in the bush, it can carry you. Do you people have something in Grand Jita that can carry people?
Well, I've not experienced that before. I've not heard that before. Sent by child who did, because I was born here, I grew up here before I was going to Morocco to see the advanced education. So the area that I come from is in Kunabo. I'm from Kunabo, and from Kunabo's in Putu Administrative District. We have not had such a that, and I've not experienced anything since that. I get to know myself, maybe from my forefather.
Okay.
So probably, gradually divided to administrative districts and to section. Probably in his own section, maybe such a happened before. But for me, some of my childhood of the present, I've not experienced such a thing to happen before.
Okay, maybe that to his area. Now, Soup, what actually brought the shooting that day? And is it true that bullets were fired. What really brought? What angered the people?
Well, Jackson, for the Palestine, the protest status, we went to our people, we talked to them. Everybody, most especially the women, the young ones, the audience, want Africa alive, want Africa alive. And all these issues that they were saying is all we all are yearning for, to make sure that we find Africa alive. So when the protest started, we went to them, we talked to them to make calm, to make patience. We cannot do this in problems, in noise, or in violence, or in the way that we are doing it. Although they have brought the attention, want to claim the attention of the government, which of course the government, and the government already get the attention.
Yeah.
But what we need to do in the process is to give this process a chance to see how all of can work together to get it done. So we talk to them the next days. We're able to convince them that we see reason to make sure that all work as a team. So in that process, before we can start, in that process, they see reason they left. The following day when they came, I was not well. So I asked my principal deputy, the development superintendent, the county's inspector, and that's the fiscal superintendent, including the releasing commission, to go and speak to our people and tell them that search is ongoing. Although it's their right, I know people are held, they need to express it someone away, but we appeal to them to make sure that they remain calm. While they was en route in the process, one of our representatives came, and he said to the people, because people get a poster on
who is the representative?
Honorable Eva Madison Graham.
Okay.
In that process, they have a lot of posters. They get Honorable Ellis Green, they get Honorable Zoe Pennon, they get Honorable the Superintendent Kai Fale, they get Arthur Twitches and the rest of the guys and like that. They say, bring our brother back. So she went to the people as a lawmaker to go there, and he was going to consult the people to see reason, because in the legislatures, in the judiciaries, and that was in the executive, we all are one government. He went there and told the people, all the things that you wrote here, 99% of what you see here, they are all true. Can you imagine that?
Is that our representative Graham told the people?
I want you to quote me.
So what it means is that the people were accusing you, Kai Fale, Zoe Pennon, Ellis Green, and the other people are the people who killed the guy, or are the people responsible for the guy going missing?
Well, probably reply, because for you saying 99% of what you guys are saying is true. So for the reason that want you to claim the attention of the government, we are here, and this is what I came for Morovia, to make sure that we get it done.
Yeah. Somebody could say it implies. Yeah. So you say it is because of him that the people did what they did.
So what I'm trying to say in the process is exactly it brought a lot of tensions in the process. It brought a lot of tensions in the process, because to listen to your leader that he elected to say such a word, probably you are not wanted to say the quiet thing that he says such a word to. It bring a lot of tensions in the process. So I was not well, my lieutenants were able to go there to talk to the people, the security, joint security were there. In the evening times, or young people, this one happened. In the night, we'll make sure that we invade the student company in Rapper. We'll make sure that we'll get the student, and we'll get their life, or maybe anything that we can do to him, we'll do it to him. In the evening hours, I got a call from some young guy. He said, student, he's sleeping, so I just about to go to bed. He said, don't go to bed. Handle your father. We have the information I'm giving to you, that people will be going to your fence, and they are around there with a lot of stuff to make sure they'll cut the wire to enter your fence, because we'll have a bad wire, and we'll have a fence, fence. So the one, as soon as you got the information, 2 PS you got over here, we'll have another post, the president brought a post. So there are 2 posts that we need to plan here in the palace. So I told them where behind the palace, you make sure you plan the pole there. So the security will plan the pole. In the process, when the security will plan the pole, the father that when I got the information, as soon as he delivered, drop it down, my development fiscal security chief, I just got a call from the securities at the election commission office, the sub office in Grand County. People around the side of the fence trying to call the wire. So I got the information somebody just provided to me. So when he said went there with the thought that yes, it was true that they saw the car and were cutting the fence. As soon as the boys go there, security go there, will not easy the people jumping on the fence, they got in the fence, there was a lot of group people sitting, people chopping snow as we speak. I have one pickup here here from our sisters, and the hope to God the broken, the window glasses, choking it, all that stuff, and God to have it, and the area were able to respond to that issues. And
nobody sustained injury from your compound.
No, that little boss who probably the one of the glass cover is a man and a man cut.
Now, Kai, I mean, you are all leaders of the county of Grand Gila. Why do you think the people will single out all of you and leave out this Malaysian Guion man, this representative who you said told them what all you people saying or you people have written is correct 99%? Why the people will leave only this man out and label all of you as being associated with the mysterious disappearance of this guy? Do you people have that kind of record?
But probably the information for us is not true. We don't have, for me, I don't have such a record. And the information required, we got to be real to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
When the election comes, election go, we will meet. You don't expect everybody crying, even at your station here as a boss of the station, when there's an election tomorrow, you don't expect all your employees or all the people that work with you to be for you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So after the election, if we are won, it's your responsibilities of the 45,000 people who got an election for 45,000 president. His law because control 45,000, which is the constituency. So even if 10,000 presidents vote for you and won, you are the representatives of the 45,000 presidents.
Okay,
so, so the issues of somebody coming tomorrow that I'm the CDC, I'm a CDC, I'm a seditious, I'm a party president, I'm party discipline. So if because I don't vote for you today, so you want to use that and stuff to say, oh yeah, because you vote for all, you are not for all before, and anything happened. That was not true. So all the things on the past election, because of our role that we play, and folks try to see that yes, indeed, we're for the person, we're going to use that and that man policy to get it done.
No, but Kai, I hope you're not making it look like all the people who are protesting are anti-CDC. I mean, the people of Grand Gila were protesting. I don't know what you want to.
What I'm trying to say in the process is that you just ask me a question. And the whole scenario, I want to ask you, why they are accusing or Hero? Why they are accusing George Bush? Why they are accusing or Senator Dennis? Because all the people at the time they were supporters of Hero Malaysia.
But I should be asking you that question. Why are they not accusing all of these people? Only Kai Fale and Zopen on that.
Yeah, because I'm trying to say to you that I'm trying to bring the election process in there.
So from your explanation, are you hearing that this guy mysteriously disappeared because of some kind of attachment to electoral issue?
No, that's what I'm trying to say. He said, why are the people who are accusing you? Clarence, I have not seen the young man for the past 2 years for going to 3 years. I have not seen the contest when the man got to, I have not been told, I have not seen the contest when the man left to go to Harvard. I never knew Clarence that the man was sick.
Okay, all right, okay, Kai. Thank God.
I don't know that the man was sick. We don't know anything concerning my head. I have not gone to Johnson for the past almost 1 year, 2 years plus.
Okay, Kai.
The only time I went to Johnson, the field Clarence was the issue when the man got missing.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Somebody get missing for all to work together as a team of the accountants or leadership of the accountant to work together and see how we can resolve the issue. Then they won't bring the differences in the issues.
Okay, Kai.
I'm not disappointed, but again, as the county authority remain focused, remain consistent in the process. We are doing everything that we need to do along with our chief and elders and the citizens of Niago.
To find
citizens to make sure that we can find a living body after.
Thank you, Kai.
In the process, Clarence is to make sure that everybody remain peaceful, let it remain calm. The image of Christ, that count is all our fighting, but we're not sitting there for someone to get messages. So the government have their own responsibility.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Everything possible to make sure that we get it done together.
Thank you. I had to hold you almost 14 minutes because of the importance of the matter. Grand Gila County Superintendent Kai Fale. Folks, I want you people to listen to something here. This is from Representative Ellie Chesia Grant when he was talking on state radio the other day. Listen. I beg you, I will do that.
Also treat some of the guys who got wounded, buy drugs for meetings. And so I sent also 30,000 out to the Niago areas in the Johnson region. I sent 20,000 and then Bolton, which is also far east. I sent 10,000 doesn't matter. Let him just try to mobilize the forces, group, and then go into the jungle. When did this man go missing? Well, I think it's sometimes last week, around Wednesday. I first got the news, and then I called the superintendent when he was en route to Grand Jules County. So who called me saying, look, I'm hearing news from the county, and Donald got missing. And then he has gone into the bush to one of the villages to seek some traditional herbs. Alright? And that's how he got missing, and then the situation is sparking like some kind of tension in the county. So from that point, we started talking from the bike. We talk to Justice Ministry, call the National. So you haven't gone there? No, I didn't go there. You haven't gone to the boat since then. But the superintendent is still there. But isn't that worrisome to you? Why do you think, you a citizen of yours, a major citizen, a key citizen, had gone missing? Is that the thing you should be the caliber now? No, it doesn't really require me. We have people there to do it. Okay. We are leaders of the people. We have people there to do it. Okay. Or maybe your presence could speed up the search in front of you. The situation is that it's not only this Donald's case. Okay. People getting missing in our country is something that we've been speaking of. The serious disappearances. It's not once. It's not twice. It's not thrice. Just recently, most recently, my sister's husband got missing. And he had never been found. Years ago, in fact, there are a lot of one of the such countries I'm also going to settle again. It happened inside Bazan in my area where they even had to go bring traditional rebels to say they are searching for this man, and then an old man called Omejaru, and some of the youth in the place, they said, the medicine man said, oh, these are people, names of people who they were accusing. Okay, so now the case is in court. I am trying to resolve that case. I plan to go to Grand Jules to resolve that particular case. And these things happen. What is giving rise to the constant disappearances? That's what makes it mysterious. What is giving rise to that? Have you heard? Well, I can't speak to what is giving rise to it. But I know it is happening. It has been happening years in, years out. In fact, to the extent that in our tradition, they have something they call, I don't know the English name, but I'm just trying to call it called Keitebe. The Keitebe is like they describe it like a natural spirit. If you went in the bush and you are unfortunate to bother with it, you are gone. It's in the bush there. It's in the bush, as they say, it's a spirit. I mean, it's...
Where are the Grand Jules people? They say they get something in our country called Keitebe. Representative Ellis Grant said, this is not the first time. This is not the second time. It has not happened once. It has not happened twice. It has not happened thrice. In fact, just recently, my sister's husband got busy, and up to now we have not found him. And there is something in our country. Oh, I know the name English, but it's called Keitebe. When it sees you in the bush, it catches you, and then they see you no more. Is he attributing the mysterious disappearance of Donald to Keitebe? How does he know? Is he saying that Keitebe carried the man because his brother-in-law also got missing and the brother-in-law hasn't been found? And the way he spoke, anybody who listen will make it look like that in a normal thing, man. And do not get missing a normal thing. Even my brother-in-law said got missing before. And in Grand Jules, that thing can happen. Not the first time, not the second time, not the third time. They got Keitebe there. That's some kind of spirit in the bush. I don't know that myth or that spirit, but when it catches you. But the guy, they said he was in the house, and then he had come also, I don't know, to attend nature or what, and he vanished. Is it Keitebe? That Keitebe took the man or what? Where is my man, Bauko? Your guys are in our place called Keitebe. I'm trying to talk to our correspondent, Gabriel Yuti, and then we can transition to talk to the people at the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and tourism about this pathologist issue, and then we'll take your calls. 8 o'clock this morning, former Deputy Public Works Minister Jackson Pay is going to be our guest. He tells us he wants to be representative of Electoral District number 6 in Nimba County. Why does he think He is the man for the job. He will be telling us. It's actually a paid for. It's a paid for show. And then 9 o'clock, Nima County Representative Samuel Koga, who's national chairperson of the opposition People's Unification Party, will be here. So it's going to be an all Nima affairs today. Grand Jida people, is there a guy something that they call Keitekbe? Keitekbe? You know, Keitekbe? That Keitekbe tell the man or what? Look, let me did I really hear the superintendent say you're not going to one of the districts for 1 or 2 years, or you're not seeing the guy for 1 or 2 years? Look, Gabriel YouTube, you gotta make my show good. You gotta make the show good this morning. Where is Gabriel YouTube? We need to talk to Gabriel YouTube. Can somebody send me Madison Green number? What my friend, how do you call him? Justice Clark. Your boss man is being accused here. Can you send me your boss's number? Oh, Gabriel, man. This is what I don't like. Can Gabriel talk to us? Then we can transition into something else. Let me talk to Jalawa Tompo. This is hard. And so I didn't want to leave it. But since we're not getting Gabriel, let's talk to Deputy Minister Jalawa Tompo. Can somebody please send me Madison Graham's number? Representative Madison Graham of Grand Jide. If you have his number, text it to me. He has been accused by Zoe Penner of telling the people that their accusation against the leaders is 99%. So true. So Zoe is thinking that, how do you call it? But Kai is thinking that the man instigated everything. Minister Jalawa Tompo, good morning.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for picking up our call. Just in
I'm on radio.
You are live on the radio, Chief. When I'll call you for quiet practice. Time day I can't be in quiet practice. You already
because I'm monitoring ERBC, that's why.
Okay, you're on the radio, and just this is just 1-2 minutes. Where are we now on this conduct of the second autopsy on the remains of Princess Cooper?
So, Clarence, the last time you listened to our press briefing and the update that was provided by the minister regarding looking up to the family presenting the pathologist is where that's the only information I have so far.
Okay, actually, I didn't listen to it. So the whole one is the family is supposed to present the pathologist.
Yeah, the hold up is with the family pathologist is no longer with the government.
You say that to mean what now?
Meaning the pathologist, the pathologist is submitted the credential and getting in touch with the pathologist have not been materialized.
So the family has not been able to present the credential of the pathologist. So this is where we are.
The family have not been able to. The pathology the family presented has not been in touch as far as we are concerned.
Minister, you're confusing me here. Two things. The family has presented the names of the pathologists to the government. Am I correct?
They presented the names. That's what I said. The last update we provided.
Now, so what is left? The credential of the pathologist, and then how are they going to come in? Because I'm confused right between there. When they present the name, what are they supposed to do next to get them here?
To get in touch with the pathologist.
The family.
Both family and the government, but to get in touch with me is where we are.
So I mean, if it is both the family and the government, and the president has mandated that this thing happen, why is the government not trying to engage the family more to ensure that the both of you can get these pathologists here?
So it's not everything that government does will always be in the public. So the government being in touch with the government, let's say with the government being in touch with the family, we don't have to say everything that we do as a government. We don't always have to say it. This has to do with human being life, and it has to be done with care. So I mean, there where we are. It's not everything that we just publicize. We publicize every step along the way. What I can say,
except that this borders on the security of the state, it borders on the credential of the government because the president has ordered. Now, when you say they present,
the president has ordered and the government has played its part. Is left with the pathologist, the presenter, the names presented for that pathologist to be in touch, to be reached, say to you. So it's not everything that we will say as a government.
So, Jalawa, who's supposed to get these pathologists to the country here now? That's where I'm getting confused.
I just told you that if you listen to our last update,
I did not listen.
Okay, so to get the pathologist, to get in touch with the pathologist is proving difficult to get in touch with the pathologist.
How can the family submitted the names of the pathologist? It means that the family should know these pathologists. How can I get in touch with them becoming difficult?
So it's not everything that I will say to you, Clarence. That's why I said that's the only word I use. The last update was what I gave up, except I knew the development came about this week or the week past. Then I can't speak to that. But what the last update was that to get in touch with the pathologist was proving difficult.
Who are getting in touch with the pathologist that are proving difficult now? The government or the family?
The government.
How now? The family should know these pathologists. How come the family is not helping you to get in touch with them?
So that is the issue that I can't say on radio. That's what
I'm not forcing you, Minister. Remember, you are in the position as the Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs. This thing is affecting the Liberian society, so I can't force you. I'm just seeking information.
The last update that I have, when we have our last the press briefing, was that to get the pathologist, we could not get the pathologist, and that's what I said. Except otherwise, this week, then it is proving otherwise that I can't say what has been proven.
Okay, let me tell you something, Jalawa. In the event you people trying to get the pathologist, you getting him, there should be no secret about the government should say it so that the blame is not shifted at the government.
So we said it. That's what I said the last time we gave the
update. Thank you, Chief.
The update. We could not get in touch with the pathologist.
Thank you.
Except for this week, we have not spoken with the relevant authority to see where we are.
Okay, thank you, Minister Jalawa Tompo. But these things border on the credential of the government. You say I'm forcing. No, I'm not forcing you. In fact, you should be hearing me because I'm providing you the opportunity. So it's not secret. If you're not getting the pathologist, what are you sent him email? What are you people been calling and he's not picking up or he's not responding to his email and the family is not helping the government to get you should say all these things because at the end of the day, let the Liberian people know the effort that the government put up, but there was to no avail. Whether you wrote email, so maybe doing a press briefing, you even want to display some of the email exchanges. It will not hurt the government. It will just prove that the government is sincere. My friend Justice Clark, except that I wanted to talk to your boss man himself. How are you?
I'm okay, Clarence. I'm okay. This is Justice.
Is your boss man in a position where I can talk to him? He's been accused. I want to talk to him directly.
But he's not in a position right now. But you can talk to me. I mean, you can talk to me.
No, I know. I respect you a lot. I know you have the capacity to talk. But he is the person being accused. What is he out of the country? I can't call him or what?
No, Radio Network System is such funny. But I'm the chief of staff.
Yeah.
Whatever thing I say, it represents my boss.
Yeah. So let's do it this way, Justice. Let send me a number and then you call him that I want to talk to him. Let me attempt. In the event I don't get him, then I can take you, please.
Okay, am I on air now?
You are live on air, but just send me a number. I want to attempt to talk to himself.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to link you to him.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, it's important that I talk to himself. But I will take calls right now. This is the OK Morning Rush on 99.5 OK FM from Liberia's capital, Monrovia. It's a lovely Monday. Should I call this Monday lovely? Well, it's relatively peaceful. Let's go to the lines and take calls on 0777 700-995 0555 995 995 0770 942-817, and of course you can go OKFM, OKFM 99.5 and OKTV, and then you can call us directly on WhatsApp when you're outside of the country. Hello.
Yeah. Good morning, Clara.
Good morning.
Yeah.
My name is Prince Corey. I call from Station number 16.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for the show this morning. I mean, we on the issue of a crazy situation. I think the government need to come in and maybe able to send things from Monrovia there and see out there to have to search for that man so they can do search, because the superintendent is saying something different, the representative grant is on EFCC and another thing.
Okay, I will get it. Let me take former Deputy Information Minister Eugene Fagon on the line. I don't know whether the man can bomb me or what. Fagon, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, and let me say good morning to you, and good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia.
Let's hear you, Fagon.
You know, Clarence, this is an issue that borders on national security, like you said. The word patho has to do with disease. A pathologist is one who examines human bodies and tissues, okay? Come up with a diagnosis. If your deputy minister, you're trying to help him pronounce the word pathologist, and he is still referring to it as pathologist, it's an issue. The second issue here is, you said the people presented the names to the government. The government, the president was honest and kind enough to say the government will be responsible. You think the people just took the name from the scatter, Clarence? They gave you the names. They gave you the contact. And it's a shame that he keeps telling you that you follow my press conference. You have to end up telling him, no. You are supposed to inform the nation. How hard is it for you to say that these people provided us the names or the contacts, and we are finding it difficult to get in touch with these people? However, as soon as we do, we will update the public and continue to blunder on the airwaves.
I enjoy hearing from one source on my own that the family lawyer, Councillor Gonglu, has advised the family to change the pathologist. Probably this is where the issue is. That's why somebody is confiding and telling me.
And you see, communication is very important.
Yeah.
If people do not understand clearly, there is room for rumors, and the rumors will lead to deception, and the country will be plunged into further chaos.
Okay, Eugene.
I think we should do well to inform the country. And with respect to the representative who said, Tei something?
Yeah, in Granty.
We are a country. Yeah. How can people be going missing? And every time we want to talk about it, other people make it look like as if Boyo Business or Teiwei or something like that. Our country, the image has been destroyed. And you guys are doing a great job. We hope that other people will contribute.
Thank you.
To make sure that our national security is kept intact.
Thank you, Eugene Fagon. Yes, you know, many times the people say, oh, the government do the one, the government do the president order, the investigation, family people. In the event, look, every single information you get about that pathologist, you must communicate it. If the family lawyer, Tiawan Gonglo, is advising the family to change the pathology, if it is the reason for which this thing is delayed, you say it to the nation. Let we know, but then we direct the discussion at the family and say, no, you say you were not certified, the president has ordered, you got to get your pathology, you start playing game, let us know what happened. But when you're making it thing look like, oh, then not everything we can tell you, then I'm confused. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Pastor Henry K, and I join you on Bytown this morning.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank God for you this morning for the platform. I see, although we agree that government is doing well in Liberia, but I think the government giving too much of rights the house to family members, because the best thing he can do as a government, I think it's better for the government to work with family members to bring pathology in the country so that they can conduct the test or the autopsy test. But Clarence, for government to make extra expensive bringing pathology at the end of the day, the result will be different for which the family can be certified. Then the family going for another pathology to come and conduct. I think the government did that.
No, the president did that in the interest of the country. The president wants to ensure the family gets satisfied. Hello?
Good morning, Big Brother Clarence, and good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia. My name is David Gallagher Winter, and I'm calling from the headquarters of the Veterans Bureau and the Bermuda Avenue community.
Yeah.
Big Brother Clarence, like you said clearly from the onset, the issues of Princess Football voters on the security of the country and the presidential of the country as well. So when the president did the pronouncement, when the pronouncement was made by the office of the president, they simply provided the name of the pathologist. But what is the English now is the pathologist credential is yet to be presented. Because before an autopsy is conducted...
My man, that information you gave, listen now, Chief, you're not government spokesperson. You think the government spokespeople, you know all those things, and I think you're talking, we can't go by it. We take those kind of statement from people who speak in their official position and capacity. Yeah, I will still try to talk to Malice Goya. I see people send me his number. Hello.
Yeah. Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Prince Corey. I come from District 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying first before the foreign minister will come here. I think the central government needs to send something to grant the ramen.
Okay.
Because the information that everybody is saying their own thing.
Okay.
The grant say the guy who I think
they got I know we take some kind of thing. Yeah.
They understand and that's what they don't do this very thing. So they can know how we take it, okay. They know.
Okay. All right, my brother. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Clarence, my name is Charles Robert. I'm in Monrovia. So, Keitewe is now some part of our life. So, we're walking around grandchildren. Who are not from grandchildren, but we are Liberian. We have the right to go grandchildren. We have family there. We have friends there. Anytime we go there, we should be mindful of Keitewe. Our is telling us.
That we as it. No, I'm not calling man. The man speaking clearly that they are calling again.
So that means when you go to Grand Gide, they can hold you there, and they can hold you. No answer because it's no more having to get this done. Look, I spoke to one Grand Gide citizen yesterday. They accused that LGM man. That LGM man who tell me, I think it's statement on state radio, validate the protest, the people who are protesting there. You cannot tell all that because you have it there. So who? So I can set up right here and conclude that I have set up for you so educated with. Don't do that to us. This is like wrong. You cannot put here in the public that when I go to Grand Gide, they take me over there. And when they take me over, you know, they take me, don't have to take me. How do you do that? Okay, man, this. But this is the country. Again, guys, I think something that you wanted to talk about energy goal.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but it ain't late. Don't worry. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you, Chad. Thank you. That's true, Chad. I will talk about it tomorrow. Don't worry, I'll talk about that tomorrow. Hello, we'll soon take our guest. Yeah. Yeah, all over. Let me hear you now.
The Princess Football business. The information minister not giving the correct information. That's the problem with something in the country. The minister or your state job. And now the
Okay, let me leave you, please. Let me leave you there. I have Representative Malice Goya on the line. Representative Malice Goya, good morning. My name is Clarence Jackson. I work for OKFM, and I got your number from your Chief of Office Staff, Justice Clark. How are you?
Okay, good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
OKFM family.
Okay, sir, you are live on the line, and I'm calling you because this morning I spoke to Superintendent Kaifale, and Kaifale accused you of something. That is why I'm reaching out. The superintendent said when the protesters held placards in their hands, accusing him, Zoe Penno, and others of being behind the mysterious killing, or the mysterious disappearance of Mr. Duno, you, Malice Goya, spoke to the protesters, and you said, and I quote, 99% of what you people are saying is true. Is that what you said?
Oh, Clarence, it's good that you try to balance your reportage this morning, and I know you for that. So let me firstly commend you and your institution. I don't think the superintendent is doing justice to himself, simply because the issue about has to do with a mysterious disappearance of a prominent individual in this county. And when your citizens are expecting to hear from you, they're not hearing you, they will definitely protest. Constitutionally speaking, it is their right to call your attention. But again, they needed to be reminded that there is a government and there is a law in this country. So why is it true that you want to protest to call your superintendent or your leadership's attention? You have to be peaceful to give government a chance. So if you come out and say because his name, Arthur Dwedi, Senator Peno, Honorable Grant, their names are mentioned on placard, well, that's the only placard the protesters are holding.
But he said why the people were protesting. You told the people that 99% of what the people were saying and what they wrote on the placards are all true.
That's not true.
Okay. But do you know about anything Grand Gila called Keitepe that can carry people? Representative Ellis Grant.
The representative to define to all what Keitepe is the one who introduced it. As far as I'm concerned, it's just been introduced by Honorable Ellis Grant. So I think he can give us the historicity of that.
So since you grew up in Grand Gila, you didn't hear anything. You have never heard about anything called Keitepe that can carry people.
What do you think about Keitepe?
It's a crown ward, and what does it mean?
I don't know where you got the word from. That's why I say he's the best person to tell us.
What additional efforts people like you and others are mounting to ensure that this guy is discovered? What's the latest now?
What has to be done is, like, for instance, having discovered that there is a chaos back home, as being described and explained, I quickly aborted every activity in Morovia before myself to Swedu. Now, when I got here, what I needed to do first was, the very day I arrived, I needed to meet with the traditional leaders. And that I've done already, petitioning them and asking them to get involved to help us in whichever way.
Now,
all relevant stakeholders I've already contacted. Thank God I was able to speak at a call of Justice Minister Fred Musa Dean. We discussed, and another call also from Interior Minister Honorable Pani Salif. We discussed, and on our discussion, it was concluded that the ministers are expected in Grand Gila. To be specific, by today or tomorrow, Minister Salif should be in Grand Gila to help us put into the issue.
Now,
give justice.
Representative Graham, finally, two things. The man in question, whose district does he come from?
Well, discussing the word district, then let's just start at 2 points.
Okay.
There will come time that we have respect for electoral district demarcation.
Okay.
After elections, original district lines are considered. But to be frank, Alfred Donald Hills from Conabo District, which is District 2 electorally.
Represented by whom?
Represented by Dr. George E.S. Bonnet.
And the town where he mysteriously got Mason is in which electoral district?
That town, electorally speaking, is in District 3.
Represented
district.
Ellis Grant District, and then he said he has not gone there yet. But anyway, thank you, Representative Graham. Okay.
Thank you.
Representative.
You take leave.
Yeah.
Let the leadership of Grand Gila County get attention to deriving a solution that Alfred Donald will return alive and healthy. Let us not delve into
it should not be as if Donald alone. Representative Ellis Grant said his sister husband also went missing. He hasn't been found too.
Did he have to wait until Donald disappeared before he go to radio to say it? That his brother-in-law lost?
Okay, thank you, Representative Graham. The man they say he grew up in Grand Gila. He had not heard anything called Keitepe. So the only person so I asked him what is a crown was Chester Grant. Chester told 18, so he didn't want to know. This time Grand Gila talking about Keitepe. They said Keitepe, so you try Keitepe can carry you. And what I think Pastor people can call Boyon Diwuli. You know, as a child, I heard my parents talking so much about something called Boyon Diwuli. Boyon Diwuli, something like that in the Basa vernacular. Okay, yeah, you know, but our guest is already here. Yeah, but Basa people, I know that thing called Boyon Diwuli. Boyan Diuli, something like that. Boyan Diuli or Boyan Diuli. I'm like saying it called K-Tekbe. I learned new word today. And then what we are hosting called political mambo jumbo. My man, look, this show get interesting as we move on to election. Jackson Pay used to be the deputy minister at the Ministry of Public Works. I know him because many times I saw him in Bond County. When I used to be there corresponding for Star Radio, I interacted with him on many occasions. I didn't know he was in country. I thought he's gone back to the US, where he usually will go sometimes. But he tells us he wants to be a representative of Nemak District number 6. He comes from Babli. And by history, I'm told, there hasn't been any Babli citizen who've been a representative of that district. Well, he would tell us what does he think he's the best person for the job, what has he done, what are his priorities, is he in contact with the people in the district? We will talk all of these. Mayu, he's from Nimba, so I will connect him with a Tier 1 Gonglo factor and ask him some questions about that. Former Minister of Pay, it's good to have you after a long time. How are you?
Thank you very much, Clarence, for having me on your show. I'm very glad to be here today, and I'm glad to also be able to talk to our people, Liberians in general, Babi District and District number 6 in particular, and the county of Nimba. I'm here as a son of Nimba who has served in various capacities, including that of being superintendent of that county. So I'm here to inform our people of my intention to contest the representative seat for District number 6.
Okay. Before we move further, I could know you. A lot of people listening to you would like to know you. Tell us a little bit about Jackson Pay. Who are you?
Well, Jackson Pay is a child who was born in a village called Yopi Old Town. And I'm a child of Ome Klawi Pay, and my mom was from a town they call Male. It's in Bowenquilla. And her name was Lopo Wei Pay. Traditionally, they got married, and I was born in what was then Ogbeaple Chiefdom, and now today is Babli Administrative District. And I got my primary education in starting in 1962 when the first school was opened in our home area.
Okay.
And from there I left, I went to Ganta to continue my education. I graduated from J.L. Pearson Elementary School in Ganta. And therefrom, I came to Monrovia, and I was staying with my uncle in Johnsonville, where I acquired a junior high elementary school education from William R. Talbot Junior High School in Johnsonville. And then 1969, I joined the Army like many of the other...
Really?
Yeah, like many of the other people. That was the first time when the recruiters went to colleges or went to high school campuses to, recruit people. And I was one of those that were fortunate to be recruited at the time. I joined the Army with the late Samuel Doe, the Thomas Westsand, and that was the first time in the history where many, I would call, well-educated people joined the Army. And after I joined, my main aim of joining the Army was to go to BWI, Boca Washington Institute. Because I'm from a poor family, they couldn't afford to send me to school. So I took advantage of the Army Student Training Program, which is ASTP, that has scholarships at the University of Liberia and also at BWI. And that's where I stayed until I graduated in 1975. Mm-hmm. And from there, I started working, and at the same time, I attended the University of Liberia, and I rose through the rank. Mm-hmm. I became, when I came from the States on the engineering school,
okay,
I became a feeder road engineer in Lofa County.
Okay.
And I was based in Golu, in a town called Golu. Mm-hmm. As a young man, I was in charge of building the road. At the time, it was intended to go to Belayala,
okay,
from Golu. But we continued to go until we got to this river, Via River, where we found it very difficult to continue. But however, Bishop Payne, who was then, instrumental in getting us over there, he passed on, and then the road construction didn't continue. Mm-hmm. I was at that position when I was appointed as Assistant Minister of Civil Works at the Ministry of Defense. And therefrom, I rose through the rank again to become a deputy minister for operations, and at the same time promoted to the rank to the military rank of full colonel. And in those capacities, I built a lot of roads through Grand Jide. As a matter of fact, Kai Fale that you just spoke to, I was in his hometown, they call Penoken, and I was able to build road from Penoken to Yaudi. There's a village or town called Yaudi. That's where we built road in Grand Cru then. It used to be some territory, Grand Cru territory. We built roads. We built roads all over Liberia at the time. As a young man, I used to fly and even drive to those places. So when I was appointed as Deputy Minister of Defense for Operations, my major achievement was this ministerial complex.
Okay.
That is, where this part, the ministerial complex is occupying now. We were instrumental in designing and building the Ministry of Defense. Okay. I went to Israel several times. I went to Nigeria several times to compare what we were doing with what they have there.
Okay.
And we saw the supervision of that building until the war came, when I was appointed as superintendent of Nima County. And that was very challenging for me as a young man, as a matter of fact. It was more challenging than anything else that anybody can imagine, because I was a young man, and then I have not really spent a lot of time in local government. But the president thought it wise then to appoint me.
President Doe.
President Doe thought it wise then. Well, yeah, I served President Doe, I served President Talbot, I served President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. So I'm very blessed to serve all of these great people of Liberia.
So you served as Nima County's last superintendent before the war?
Exactly. Yes.
I didn't notice that.
Yes, I was.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was the most challenging time, and I really appreciate that opportunity. Of course, I would say that it was because of that my parents were killed during the heat of the war.
Wow.
But notwithstanding, I was able to serve, and I serve as a beacon of hope for all tribes in our county. Many people who might be listening and maybe might be alive probably would know what I did.
Jackson Pay. Okay.
Yes.
I didn't. The name that kept ringing to my mind, either because when I was a kid coming up, I delivered speeches before him several times. It's Stephen Daniels. That name is just in my head.
I succeeded Stephen Daniels.
Oh,
yes.
right.
You
you succeeded Stephen Daniels.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
And the funny thing is that I was able to mitigate the war. It was difficult. It was very, very difficult. Just can you imagine, being in a group, and you have people that have been displaced from other towns.
Yeah, I know.
And they come and they depend on you as the head of the government, and people, when they see you, they think they are okay.
I didn't know. So you served the army as a colonel?
Yes.
I'm just imagining.
Yeah.
The last army commander in our place in Nima was Colonel Vlair.
Vlair, yeah.
I remember very well.
Vlair died in the war.
Yeah, Colonel Vlair.
Yeah, God is wonderful.
I knew him. I saw him.
Yeah, I could have been in that same convoy that he was in, but God stopped me from traveling that particular night.
Okay.
But I was in the middle of a meeting, a council meeting, and Samuel Bajbo, he was assistant superintendent then, was there with me, and everybody came around. This kind of Baba Duncan, he was Major Baba Duncan, came and whispered in my ear and said, "Look, your parents are dead. They were killed. What do you do? Do I cry? Do I just get up and do it?" So I just bit my lip, as I usually do when something is actually bothering me, and I remained calm and conducted a meeting.
Okay.
And after the conduction of the meeting, and I left and went to my home. When I got there, the people had been buried in mass grave. But it was a challenge.
I mean, that was it. Let's move on.
Yes.
I only know Jackson Pay to be an engineer. Little did I know that you served the military to the rank of a full colonel.
Yes.
Because from a full colonel is a brigadier general. I mean, you were close to being a general.
Yeah, but military was it was not actually the career.
Yeah.
I am a civil engineer by training and by education.
Okay.
But I was in the army, and because of the various positions I held, have to be promoted to commensurate with what I was holding. I mean, the positions I held. Like, for example, when I became assistant minister, I was a captain. And then there was this U.S. military mission partner that I had, and he was a major. So President Doe said, well, you can be a major. I mean, you can be a captain and be in charge of Colonel Glaze and all the other people, so we have to promote you to colonel.
Okay.
So,
Did Robert C. serve Nimba as superintendent?
yes, he did.
He was a military man.
Yeah, he was a military man, but he was the first superintendent of Nima County as a military man when the government...
The first military superintendent?
Yes, he was, yeah.
Okay. Robert G. C.
Robert G. C. He and I were very good friends. I mean, I knew him. There are many people that I knew from Nima, Robert C., Colonel Noah. I mean, you just name
Okay,
them.
let's move on. I mean,
So, well, let me go to my
I
internet.
mean, yeah, you know, Jackson Pay has presented a new Jackson Pay. I didn't know. You know, sometimes these are opportunities. When we get to you, we talk a little about you.
Sure.
Now, you want to be representative of Nimba next year. You want to venture into the election. By the way, are you a member of any political party?
Not at the moment, though. I'm going right now. I'm exploring the possibility of being an independent candidate. Notwithstanding, I'm talking to some people. I'm talking to some political leaders who and I have the same mindset. And eventually, the decision will be made by the executive committee as to whether we should remain independent or whether we should merge or join or collaborate with any particular party. Of course, we have people that we are interested in that we're talking to at the moment. But yeah, now let me come back to what led me to want to be a representative. I served in these various capacities. The last one I served at was Deputy Minister of Public Works in charge of Rural Development and Community Services.
Okay.
And I love building roads. I really do, because it transforms people's lives. And I remained in that position until the new government came, CDC government came, and some of us were let go, and which I don't regret, because I made my mark to our people. But my aim of wanting to join and to also contest an electoral position is that I want to serve the people directly. In the past, I served presidents. In those positions, my only loyalty is to the president that appointed me, and that's what the Constitution says. Okay, but in those positions, I was able to bring a lot of development in our areas. And even in Babi District, where I hail from, the road that is built from Gray to Beale to Blodiala, we were very, very instrumental in doing that. And besides Babi District, you go to Zlui, you go to Sacred Pit, Mount Chiefdom, you go to Kanta. You know, there are a lot of feeder roads that were built in those areas. And I love roads building. But at this point in time, I want to transition into the legislature.
We could be missing a very good engineer, man, for God's sake.
Well, you know, it's part of my life. I still have my company. I have a company. I don't want to advertise.
No, you don't. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You try it, you pay for it. You can't do that. But let's move on now. You are in this representative job.
Yes.
Why do you want the people of District 6 to trust you with this thing?
I want them to trust me because I've been around for a long time, and I have passion to lead and also passion to serve. And specifically, I have a few things that really led me to that is the empowerment of youth. Because I had the opportunity of being, awarded scholarship to study on BWR. And the fundamental education I got from BWR led me to the other positions I held. So I want to give young people the opportunity today so that they will benefit from that same education I got, which is technical vocational education and training, TVET education. And I have a parcel of land in Gray. I want to dedicate 50 acres, I have already dedicated 50 acres of that land to building a vocational institution to train our young people. The young people today, many of them ride motorbikes, which is good. I mean, it's a way of making ends meet, but it should not be an end into itself. But they can park their motorbikes at some point in time, go and learn how to do carpentry work, go and learn how to do masonry work. So then can go and do, home domestic sciences, which is like cooking, baking, and tailoring, which are mainly for ladies. And then agriculture will be the backbone of our program. Agriculture is very, very essential in liberating our food from this food dependency. So I want to empower young people, and I want young people to look at me as a role model, to know that I'm not everything, or not everybody that served in government for a long time is corrupt. I mean, that's the perception people have there. I mean, my records are there. So I want to empower young people. I want them to see me as a role model. I want to empower them, to work with them, to improve their lives. And what we will do when we are given the opportunity, when we give a scholarship to students to study at our institution that we're going to establish, we're going to have them come back after graduation to serve in the community from which they hail for minimum pay for 2 years. And thereafter, of course, it will be like wherever they decide they can go, but it will be a way of giving back. And I want to actually, like I mentioned, agriculture. I need to promote agriculture. Agriculture needs to be promoted. It's a shame. We have a country that is rich. We have everything, but yet we import bitter balls. Can you imagine Liberians importing bitter balls and oranges from Guinea and Sierra Leone? I mean, there's no disrespect to those people, but I think we can do the same thing they are doing too. So I am going to have agriculture as a base of my policy. And what we will do is that we will encourage commercial farming, communal farming, and also what used to be government farms those days. Of course, in Liberia, when they say something belongs to government, it belongs to no one. So, but we'll make sure that these things pay off. And the next thing I want to talk about is that, in fact, with the agriculture thing, during my recent trip, I just returned from the States. You talk about mine, spending a lot of time in the States. Yes, I did. During the war, after my parents were killed, of course, I had to go to the States because it was hard. They were coming for, but because they were closer to the people, that's why they got killed. But I left and went to the States, and I worked for an engineering company they call Landmark Engineering Survey Corporation for 17 years until President Ellen Johnson went to Tampa, Florida, where I was staying. She talked about the stability in Liberia when I came for the first time, and I saw how it was. Then I came back. I made a decision to come back. And since then, of course, I go to the States, but I don't stay there as long. The most I stayed was 4 months, 5 months. Last year, or year before last, when the coronavirus broke and there was no flight. So I go in now. Just recently, I was in touch with some of my supporters in the States, the Friends of Jackson Pay, and they had a big farmer in Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa, and they wanted me to meet this farmer that they want to do business in Liberia. But hey, I've not even achieved the position I'm looking for. I don't have the gravitas to do that kind of negotiation. So I am going to wait until at some point in time to go and engage these big farmers to help us in Nima County, especially Lower Nima County. Now, I want to empower women. As you know, the population of Liberia is almost 50-50, between women and men. But when you go to many places, you see in the workforce is comprised of mostly men. So it is easy for me as a representative, if I'm I can't use the word if, when I'm elected, that I will have the opportunity of employing people in my office. And my promise to the people is that 50% of the people I will employ will be women and 50% will be male. It doesn't matter. I'll have to do that. It's easy to do. And I also want to encourage women to get into business. Many women are involved into susu, small susu, and you go to the villages, you see the women putting their coppers together, and at the end of the year, they divide that. I want to improve on that. There's an opportunity for women out there. There are NGOs and there are other governments that fund women so as to lift them up economically. I want to provide an opportunity for them, and I will make sure that when I'm elected, that we have saving and loan clubs that will be dedicated mostly to women. And even by providing the feeder roads that we did, it's a way of empowering women because they bring their bitter balls, they bring their plantains and rice to the market, and that way they are able to feed their children and also to provide for their education. And additionally, when elected, I will definitely cater more to the needs of the downtrodden women in our community because we need to elevate them. Well, my records are there. I believe in transparency and accountability. Many of the jobs I held in government were funded by international organizations, like the military housing program that I headed as a young man in my 20s to my early 30s, and I was audited twice. One from the Department of the Pentagon, and then we got the Department of Defense, and also the next was from the State Department, because there was U.S. funded government. U.S. government funded projects, and I was audited twice. And one of the major pieces of my documents that I really, really regret losing during the war was those two clearances that I have. But I know that they are available on the government website of the United States. So I was audited twice and came clear of those, all the things that are given to us. So as an elected official, the first thing I will do when I'm elected, before I even take office, is that I am going to declare my asset. Even though the Constitution does not require that, but I'm going to declare my asset. And the former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration, I declared my asset more than 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. The first time as assistant minister, when I was appointed. Then when I was appointed as deputy minister, I didn't know I had to declare again. But then, I was suspended for 1 week or 1 month until I declared my asset. I did. The records are there. So I'm going to declare my asset and let people know.
Will you publish it?
Yes, I will publish. I will declare my asset and publish it, and let people compare with what I had before I'm getting the government. And that way, people will know what I have and what I don't have. So they can monitor. At the end of my tenure, they will know what you have. You give me $100. Why is it you living with this $1,000?
Are you in touch with the people in District 6 at the moment?
Absolutely. I'm in touch with them. As a matter of fact, I just returned from the States. And before I went to the States, I toured the district. I toured all of the towns in the district. And I have a very good connection in there. I have an organization on the ground here. They call Team Pay. And it's headed by a young man from Buenquila, specifically from Babli Town. They call Mema Duo. And I also have many, many supporters in those various towns. We have cheerleaders, chairmen from each of those towns. So we are, in fact, on Saturday we had a good meeting of our people at Peace Island, which was heavily attended. I'm very grateful for that. I want to go back to what I would do as a representative. When elected, I'm going to constitute the county development, council, because they are councils. In the constitution and the regulations that were established during the previous government, there are so many things there that are meant to be implemented, but unfortunately they are not. I'm going to implement that council development county sitting so that we will make decisions collectively as a district, and I will remove myself from that. I'm not going to be holding on to the money because it's hard for people to ask a representative or a government official questions. So I'm going to remove myself, and there will be somebody. Of course, ultimately I will be here responsible because I will be the head of that of the county. But I will make sure that things are done right. Now, as I just told you, I lost my parents during the war, and I believe in peace and reconciliation. And that's one of the platforms I want to work on. I started that in 2017 when I was Deputy Minister of Public Works. I used my own resources. In February 2017, we brought together some of the towns that were heavily affected during the war. And we want to reconcile our people. As you may know, I am a hybrid of the Kran and the Gyo tribes. And those are the two tribes that have been at each other's throat. And this has to stop because we all have that county, we all have that area as our common matrimony. There's our patrimony, whatever way you want to call that. But there's no other person who has the greatest power to expel the other from there. We have to work together in spite of our differences. Of course, there are different tribes and there are different people, but that makes us a better person because diversity, our strength lies in the diversity. Nima County as a whole is comprised of different tribes. Not the major tribes alone. We have smaller tribes there. And Kran is one of those tribes. And I know people will bring it up. I'm now a tribalist. I believe in working together as people of Liberia. But people will use that and say, "Oh, this man is a crime man." This, that. No, it doesn't matter. My mother was Gio, okay, and my father was Crown. Now, if that animosity existed between those tribes at that time, would you think my father would have gone to a Gio country, deep in the Gio country, to marry to a Gio woman and brought her in the home in our home until we all grew up? But it's not that. It was not that way that them. It's the war, the ugly history of our recent war is the one that brought that up. And I want to bring our people together. I want to make sure that we live together again as one people to develop our country. There's no way that one tribe will dominate the other. There's no way that other people will be afraid of doing things. Because just recently, last year or so, somebody got killed. And what happened? Many people started fleeing their land again. The people started going to Iroquois, some people started going to Tapeta, some people moved in other areas. That's not healthy for us.
Now, Mr. P, I've been sitting and listening to you say you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do this. As a representative, you will not have that exclusive power, to single-handedly do what you want. How is important.
Absolutely.
How will you do all these things you say you want to do? And do you have to necessarily be a lawmaker to do them?
Yes, you have to be a lawmaker because people believe in their leader. Okay, and you see, the Constitution divides the responsibilities of government. We have the executive. The first branch is legislative. Then the second branch is executive, and the last but not the least is judiciary. But the power that is vested in the people is a collective power. So as a leader, you have to be able to work across the aisle. Some of the things I see today in our national legislature are very troubling. I mean, I can have a different opinion and collaborate with somebody who and I can share something in common. But even if we have our differences, I believe it should not be made so public to the extent where we create a lot of enemies. So we have to be able to bring people together, and that's why I come on the table with. I work with people before. I've been deputy minister, I've been assistant minister, but I've been able to work with ministers who and I don't share the same view, who and I don't necessarily agree on so many things, but we're able to work together for a common good, and that's what I'm going to bring to the table. That's the experience I had, and that's what I want to bring in. I want to also bring government closer to the people. I want to live in the district. I'm a countryman. I was born in the interior. Of course, I spent a lot of time in Monrovia, but I was born in the country. I want to live in the district. I don't have the power to do all of what I'm going to say, but I'm going to make sure that these things we try to bring and help our people together. Living in the district, giving the opportunity to know what's happening, and I can spend some time with them so that they will know who I am better, rather than being in Monrovia and going to the district on the weekend. It's going to be the other way around. I'm going to live in the district.
You will live in the district as a representative?
That is my promise. I will do that. I will live there. I'm not going to be able to say I'm living. I'm going to sleep in every town, but the major towns will have offices that will have sleeping quarters for us, and we'll spend some time. And then the Constitution provides that a representative or senator works how many days a week? 3 major days a week. The rest of them is supposed to spend in their constituency.
You have committee meetings?
Yes, I have committee meeting of I think the first sitting is on. I'm not familiar, so forgive me if I'm wrong. But I think Tuesday is when they go to meeting, and then I think
Tuesday and Thursdays are sections,
right?
And the other days are used for committee meetings,
right? Yeah,
so you gotta be here to be going to committee meetings.
Well, I may not want to be.
For example, you are an engineer. Who knows? You could be chairperson on the Committee on Public Works.
Yes, I will. I mean, that's a good thing to happen. If it happens,
he's smart.
Yeah, if I become the chairman, of course, you can rest assured that we'll have committee meetings, but it will not interfere with my meeting with the people, because the people are the people who are going to be represented by me. The committee meetings are also in addition to doing what I'm going to do, that is sending me there for. But I will spend more time. I will find time on the weekends. Like, I think you may have gone to Washington, D.C., National Airport.
I've been to Washington, D.C. twice.
Now, what majority of the representatives and the senators doing is this, okay? They work through the week. By Thursday, they go into their constituency.
Except that these people got accessible rules.
Yeah, well, you know what?
You are talking about Tapeta district.
Before I become representative, that road will be paved. As you can see, the president is doing very well with the road connectivity between Kanta and Satellite Pier is being paved right now. So from here to my district is not more than 9 hours. I've tried that before. So I can even sleep there and leave from there 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and be in Monrovia if I have to go to session.
What are your people telling you? You say you have a team called Team Pay.
Yes.
What do they want you to do? Venture as an independent candidate, or the possibility of discussing to get on the ticket of a party?
Well, that decision is still in the air. You know, joining a political party, there are plus and minuses. So you have to weigh the option and see which is greater. Independent candidacy comes with a lot of expenses. But by the same token, being on a party ticket comes with the baggage of, wanting your party mandating you to do certain things that may not be in your interest. Again, it's still open. I'm talking to some people, and I'm very hopeful by the end of the day, my team that I have, very competent team that I have now, will be able to guide us in making a decision in that direction.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. And anytime any of you, moving forward, anytime I talk to a son or daughter from Nimba wanting to venture into politics, or a sitting lawmaker or whatever, I ask them this question. And this is important because he's one of you, he comes from your county, probably you see it differently in the way your analysis. What do you make of the pronouncement by Tewon Gonglo that he wants to be president?
Well, I welcome it. Let me put it that way. I welcome it very strongly because this is democracy. Tewon Gonglo is a well-accomplished human rights lawyer and well-respected. And he served as president of the National Bar Association before then. I think he served as a Solicitor General Liberia. So he has what it takes to be president. So I am not here to say, well, I do not support him or I do support him, but he has the opportunity of contesting the presidency. And I will encourage anybody who is interested in that, in putting themselves forward, as I have done, because...
You think Nimba will support him?
Well, I speak for myself.
No, I mean, you're a former superintendent. You understand the politics in Nimba and how things are. You being around, you being deputy minister. You think Nimba will support? It's not about Jackson Pay. I'm asking. I'm gauging you for your analysis on the issue.
I believe Nimba will support him. I would believe that. I would think, if I'm looking at your OKFM 99.9, I'm just thinking that 99.5% of citizens in Nimba will support Tewon Gonglo or any citizen from Nimba that contests for the presidency.
Why?
Because, Nimba and Lofa County, those are very traditional counties. So they support one of their own. Have you noticed that every election, Senator Prince Y. Johnson always win Nimba County?
Yes.
Okay.
But they didn't do that to the late Dr. Joseph Kotu.
Well, in the case of Dr. Kotu, I was not in country, so I don't know exactly what happened or what led to that. But I believe that when a Nimba citizen stands up and says he wants to contest a presidency at that level, it is a pride. It is a pride for every Nimba citizen. I know that. So yes, 99.5% of the people will support him as a citizen of Nimba. And he has a reputation for being upright.
Will you not be an American representative? People elect you every time you take break, you fly abroad.
Well, I just told you I'm going to reside in the district.
It doesn't matter.
My life is an open book. Yes, I do go to the States. Yes, I do go for consultation. As a matter of fact, I just returned from the States. It might interest you to know that I raised a lot of money in the States because the people believe in me. And everybody who raised money have a stake. They have the belief that the Constitution provides for a government that will cater to the people. And in order to do that, the people must support the candidate of their choice.
Okay, Mr. Jackson Pate, I need to check. My instance is telling me that Dr. Kotu won Nimba in 2005, but I got to check it out. Right, former Deputy Public Works Minister Jackson Pate is here, a former colonel of the Armed Forces of Liberia, and the last superintendent of Nimba before the 1990 civil crisis. I'm just hearing that. I've never heard it before. I always talk about Robert Pay, but I saw Superintendent Stephen Daniel even do a boy, but I on many occasions. Well, he's here. He wants to be representative of District 6. He's been talking about his vision for the district. Let's have some interaction here. 0777 700-995 0555 995 995 0770942817. Our number is on Facebook. On our page, you can call us and let's have a frank conversation. A prominent citizen of Nimba, he said, yes, let's go here. What is he say? He said, it was challenging, but he stood up against what at the time was the targeting certain ethnic groups by the AFL. He was impartial. He was objective. I wish he had been superintendent of Nima for a long period. Well, somebody is giving you all of the praises right here, and the president said, don't call my name because I play a major role in the political architect of the country. I don't want anybody to think that this is a public endorsement, but he said Jackson Pay is a nice man. Our reporter Masa Khan is trying to reach out to her. I don't know what's going on. Let me talk to Masa. I don't know whether there's something we can talk about. Masa?
Yes, Father, good morning.
Good morning, Masa. Is there something you want to pass on?
I sent you a text.
Okay, let me read it. Let me read the text. I'll read the text. Let's go here. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Talk to us.
Yeah, my name is Amanda. I call from Kingsville.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to tell the Honorable Man Institute good morning and wish you well. He's a representative of our county, Nimba. I know him for long. At the time, he was Deputy Minister of Defense. Just to verify, I said that he was the last superintendent before the 1990. He was the last superintendent during the 1990. The last superintendent before the 1990 was Toyo Daniels. He was appointed when the war was already in the country.
Okay,
So
thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. That was good of you. Thank you. So he was a superintendent during the war. I mean, he was appointed 1990 already. Okay. Hello?
1989.
Yeah, good morning.
1989 he was appointed. That's why I say he was the last before the war. Because the war was 1990. So if you were appointed 1989, then he was the last before the war. So I'm correct. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Joseph Dave Kule calling from Portland.
Joe, let's hear you.
Yeah, I would like to appreciate your studio guest this morning. I think calling him to come to the studio, I think you are made for us to know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would like to welcome him, at least to appreciate him for his effort. For other people that classify for me, I don't know him, but other people are classifying to be a good man.
Mm-hmm.
I wish him good luck. But the only problem I got with like politicians,
Mm-hmm.
when it's time for elections, they talk nicely. When you having the work, use your energy, your time, your effort, everything you use to put in there, they do the contrary. That work can very hurt me. So we want people that will come, let us do the best for the country so that our country we can compare our country to other countries, not when they get it so just to continue to see that our life in miserable is very much bad. I wish he would do the opposite of what other people have been doing. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you there too. And thanks for calling. You can let the line go. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Yeah?
I will have introduction. I'm John V. Farmer.
John, let's go. You're taking too long, my man. Let's go.
I'm calling from the most forgotten district.
Mhm.
The district was Virginia. It was the Maple.
John, please, let's go ahead, man. Lead that thing.
To the issue. To the issue. Let me
Yeah.
weigh in. Let me say thank you to the lawmaker for one thing that drew my attention on what he said, that he will come back to the people and he will live in the district. But for me, I see that as a very true, because the same people have said it, even our president lawmaker that we have here, that's the same thing. We'll come back to you, we'll inform you, because these are the things they always tell the citizens. But when time comes to share the cow beef, they don't even come back to tell you. When time comes for companies to punish us, they don't come back to tell us. So I hope that you will not be one of those. I will tell the person, I couldn't come back because we saw on the tree. So they have to stay and take the decision.
Okay, thank you, John. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
My name is Charles Robert. I'm not from Nima. I'm from Lofa. I'm a Kissy man. But I want to disagree more with the what I experienced, citizen of Liberia. He want to represent Tapeta district. I know the distance from Monrovia to Tapeta. Even if the road is quota, it's big. So I think I disagree with him. I hope he take it good. Maybe he has a good intent. I don't think it's a lie. He don't mean to lie to the people. I think that's what he want to do. He want to live in a district, but chief, it's difficult. In the first place, to decide to live in a district and represent the people, you already be letting them down because the reason why they're taking you from there is for you to be their eye at parliament. So if, for example, a parent asks you why if they make because you come with a lot of experience, why if you are chairing a committee, you cannot have committee meeting in your district, bossman. I hope you don't do something that will die you tomorrow. Then because your opponent will come directly at you. So what if you want to live in the district? Now you want to be there and say, no, our committee chair, I have a committee meeting, then you say it becomes difficult. So you leave some of the things, some of the promises, you leave it, you hold it, and see whether it's possible. But it's not possible to live in Jamaica, even in the real state, to be represented. Because they both say you to be a representative, they're not saying you to live, they're not elect you for you to live with them.
Okay.
So we gotta know how it look like.
Okay, Charles. Thank you so much. But I know Senator Franklin Siako lived in Banga and he would drive, to Monrovia and come to section and go back. Hello?
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Clarence, this is Emmanuel Lehman, and I join you from the headquarters of the Strategic Gladiators.
Yeah.
Clarence, while it is his constitutional right, to contest in an electoral process, especially in Nima County.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in that. Clarence, to be honest with you, we are satisfied with the current lawmaker there.
Okay.
So we wish you well, but we are not wishing you victory. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's go here. That's the beauty of democracy. Hello? Hello here. Oh. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, people of France.
Yeah?
Yeah, my name is Jeremiah Kulia, a pastor of Nima County, District number 6.
Jerry, let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to say, listening to our dad, he has spoken well, and we wish him well, because the young people of District number 6, Nima County, deserve a better leadership, who deserve someone who is accountable to the citizen. This is why, if you listen to him, he said it right, that we as citizens of District 6 have supported him, we raised funding for him, and we believe in him. It is true that you might say it's impossible to live in Nima and come to Monrovia for session. But who knows? In 5 years, with a lot of development that is being carried across in Liberia, I believe that he can fulfill his promise.
Okay, thank you. Let's go here. Hello?
Morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Clarence, I'm focused watching. Of course, I hail from Grand Creek County, and let me say thank you to your studio guests. Charles, just quietly express my experience. I'm contesting Grand Creek, by the way, district number 1. And I want to say to the big brother, I've known him at Public Works. I think he has done extremely well. But the thing about promises are one of the things for which people can be too hard. So I would like for him to be much responsible and come down with the issue. I will do this, I will do that. Because the legislature, working at the legislature is not about you. It's about a collective effort. It's a joint effort. And so I think the people have never made that decision. Lastly, I wanted to say something clearly, Clarence.
Mama, your guy, I don't know how to call that into that. Your guy gate in Grand Crew?
No, never. I just want to say something, Clarence. By the way, I came last Friday, so Grand Crew is okay. Everything is okay in the southeast. Then we have some challenges, but the person is doing extremely well in Grand Crew.
No, everything not okay in the southeast. There is spirit in Grand Crew.
Extremely well. That means there are some technologies, strange happening that we have not experienced for the past decades upon decades. So we must
okay, all right, Focus. Thank you, Focus. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Clarence. Yeah, thank you for your interesting topic this morning. And one of our own is in the office this morning, trying to convince his electorate to vote for him in the coming election.
Yeah.
But if he being in the state, if he working here in the state in a half. But while we observe our people that coming from in the states, they all will come and lie to us and give a lot of red race. At the end of the day, they turn their back on us. This is not the first time. See, so what I recommend that he starts to do a humanitarian I don't think he will win now. Maybe he will be in the nearby future.
Okay.
But, he got to do
Why
better.
you think they may want to be lawmaker now? He's in nearby future.
Yeah, but he will not make it because there are people on the ground that we're already used to.
Okay, thank you. Let me take this final call. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Clement. If you are not taking me, I'll see your problem, my brother. Because I've been calling. How are you?
I'm doing great. Ochija, call your name.
My name is James Willie, the proud son of Safeta.
Yeah, will it go ahead?
Yeah, Clarence, I listened to the woman there because for his historical background, he's a woman. Yeah, he all out some things that I want to know. All of his years, he knows lucrative positions as government ministers, as he himself stated. What has been his personal contribution in terms of touching lives of Nima citizen youth, more especially when it comes to the district that he wants to run on?
Okay, thank you. Minister Pay, let's get back to you.
Thank you very much, and thanks to the callers and those that have questions. I won't be able to answer all the questions, but I want to provide clarity when I said I'm leaving the district. I don't want people to misconstrue that, meaning that I will live in the district and come to work and then go back. I don't mean that. Maybe that's how it's meant to be. We have weekends, and most of the time, the House of Representatives and the Senate are not in session on Mondays. So I am going to spend more time in the district. What they call agriculture break. Why they call the agriculture break or citizen constituency days or whatever consultation. You're supposed to be there. As a representative, you're supposed to be with the people. Not that I will leave and drive on Tapeta to come to Monrovia and go back. No. But I will spend more time in the district and I will spend more time in each of the town at a time. That's what I mean. And also, there was a gentleman that said that, what have I done? I think that was the last caller. Yeah, I touched a lot of lives. I provided scholarships for people. There are people in prominent positions today that I help educate. But for me, as a policy, I do not talk about things that I do for people personally. What I do is I talk about things that affect communities. But there are people in government now. You go to public works, there are people that I help there that have been elevated to some level. They will talk about it. I'm not going to call names, but I'm tempted to call a name. But anyway, I'm not going to do that.
I think he was talking about in the district you want to represent.
In the district,
you've touched lives.
Oh yes, how can I come from Nimba and don't touch the lives of Nimba citizens in terms of providing educational opportunities? I have done that. That's why I was referencing public works, and some people you can go and ask people. Promises. Somebody says I should be moderate on my promises. True, I am very, very moderate. I don't talk about building roads. I'm not talking about building skyscrapers because those are not within to me. What I can do is that when I say I will employ 50% of women and 50% men, if you ask representatives, they have budget for that, and it is within my purview to select the people that I want to represent. They don't go through Civil 7. The difficulty we have in government when you serve as a minister is that, our days, I don't know about now, but you have to pass the Civil Service test before somebody is recommended. Before even somebody is recommended, there has to be a vacancy, okay? When there's a vacancy and it's declared, that person has to pass through Civil Service test. So as a minister, you can just bring people on board. So those are the constraints. But as a representative, I think you have 16 persons, if I'm not mistaken. You have 16 persons that you have the latitude of employing. So I'm not promising skyscrapers, but I'm promising things that are doable. Now, I believe people that express some of the apprehensions or misgivings about my promises, they are right. But I am not going to be the ordinary politician or the same politician I've been around and make promises. I don't live in America. Maybe that's a misconception. If I were living in America, would I be serving as minister or deputy minister of public works? No. I live in the United States during the heat of the war. When my parents were killed, I went there and lived there for 17 years. But I returned to Liberia since 2010. And I go to the States every now and then. So I don't live in America. As a matter of fact, I spend more time in my hometown than anyone else that you can think about. So they can rest assured that when they give me the opportunity, they will see me there, and I'm not going to make promises that I'm not going to keep. So again, these promises that people are concerned about, these are things that I can do, and I'm willing to enter into contract with the people so that when I'm elected, every year we can go for review of the contract to see where we are and what we have not done. So that is my promise to the people, but I want them to give me the opportunity. Yeah, somebody talk about age. Yeah, this is good. I like that age thing because you know what? Age is where experience come in. You cannot go to school and learn how to be wise. You cannot go to school and learn, experience. People get PhD, they come back from school, they say, well, this position will advertising, but it has to have somebody with experience. Experience come with age. And I'm very proud to be where I am because, the House of Representatives and the House of Senate is referred to as the House of Elders. And the reason for that is that this is where, when things are going wrong, that's where somebody has to go to for consultation. There's no disrespect for the young people who are in the House of Representatives or Senate. I have every degree of respect for them. But that area needs people with experience like me. And I can promise you, the last thing I want to say is that the guy talked about he's satisfied with our current representative. I'm from the city. I'm from Nimba. I'm very friendly with Honorable Tom Glikia. He's a nice young man. He has done some good things, but I believe I can do better. I can do much, much better than he has done. And it is democracy. Whoever you want to vote for, that's the person you vote for. So again, I appreciate all of the comments and all the criticism or whatever, but it is challenge to me that when I'm given the opportunity, that will serve you.
That will serve you. Jackson P., a former Nimba County Superintendent, former Deputy Minister. Thank you so much for coming this morning.
Thank you.
Oh, what an interaction. I'm leaving here now to go to the Supreme Court of Liberia, probably where our judicial reporter, Massa Khan, is. We're hearing Joe Boakai is supposed to be appearing today. I want to ask you, is there anything that resembles him coming today? Massa, good morning.
Good morning, Clarence. Good morning, everyone.
You should be at the Temple of Justice by now. Am I correct?
Of course I am.
Joe Boakai, one of our prosecution witnesses, is supposed to appear in court today. I know the other day it was postponed. Are there signs he would come?
Well, I can say clearly I don't know how it will go, but initially or last Tuesday his appearance to testify was postponed because of inadequate security presence on the court ground. The prosecution thought that it wasn't safe for him to have appeared. And this morning before I drove in here, starting from the gate, the security detail starts from the entrance, right before the executive mansion and the back gate.
Okay.
So there are a lot of armed police people here to actually, control the process today. And that's obvious because it was due to lack of security, he did not come. So if you see all these details here today, security details, it's obvious that he might or he will appear.
Did anybody, confide in you to confirm that he will be there?
Well, his appearance was scheduled for last Tuesday, and then when it was postponed, we were told you will appear this Monday. And seeing the security details like that is a sign that he would appear. We are assuming he would appear. Okay. We don't know what will come later.
Okay, Massa.
That's what we know.
Finally, man, you are the guys who have got all the big ears there as far as judicial information is concerned. Have you gotten any hint when the Supreme Court will make a determination in the Unity Party, Musa Bility, and that case?
Well, this case here, the Supreme Court heard it a few weeks ago.
All right.
And some of them raised concern as, terming it as election matter, even though NEC or other people part of the party or some party litigants thought it was not election matter because someone is trying to contest an election poll doesn't make it.
Okay.
In their thought, doesn't make it election matter. But if we should term it or take it as election case, obviously by law after the hearing, the Supreme Court will take 7 days or less to provide ruling if it is considered that. But if it is not considered an election matter or case, we cannot tell when exactly the Supreme Court will make assignment to give ruling in this UP and CPP case involving Musa Belete and the rest of the people.
Okay, Masa Kanan Telede is our judicial reporter from the Temple of Justice. The man we expect next is Samuel Koga, National Chairman of the People's Unification Party. Let's take this one from Grand Jide. Actually, that Boyan Diuli thing I was talking about in Basel, that hot man. I want to call Boyan Diuli. I don't know. I think it should be different from Gay Tekbe.
I'll call you.
Malaysian Grand say, ask your man Ellis Jesse Grand. He don't want to know about like Gay Tekbe. I don't know about it. What is Gay Tekbe? A crown war or what is it when you cry you can lock? Folks, this is the OK Morning Rush on 99.5. My name is Pizzo. We're here this morning, man. Samuel Koga is our next guest. We're appealing to the people of Grand Jide to keep calm as authorities are exerting efforts in my Kaifari voice to ensure the discovery of Duna. He's gone missing for a little over a week now. Then Ellis Grant say, my brother-in-law went missing in Grand Jide. We get some kind of thing how people call it gate. I don't know the English name. Or sometimes when I think see you, it can carry you. I know that myth or that tube, or I know the spiritual gate. My deepest sympathy to my friend Bauko for the loss of your father, man. I'm told you're taking the body home today to Grand Jide. Our condolences to you and your siblings. It's a hard time for you. You gotta be strong, bro. I like your courage. Every time I call you, you're sounding lively. That's the man Bauko. Grand Jide, good morning.
Use the resin foil. Yola, show me the clue now. Why are you laughing more?
That man going to re-election, he just shining at you. That man not worrying or what? All my friends from Grand Jide, good morning to you. Oh, yes, this is something from Grand Jita County, right here on the OK Morning Rush. As it's a lot of songs, right? Some Representative Samuel Kogat is already on our compound. We're getting here very, very, very shortly, and then we can begin the discussion on a lot of issues in his district and elsewhere. Oh yeah, the man bearing the Samuel Kogat name is already in studio. Is that the man? The man's go for real leisure. The man just smart and shining. The man, I thought you'll be getting dark small. You will so be worrying. Y'all get gated way in the mouth. Oh, I want to hear the phone. I represent everybody in Boyan. The man said, "I hear that you got gated way. I elegant. He don't want to talk about a gated way, huh?" So I said, "What did you got gated way?" Now I cry. The man said, "I don't know." Oh, maybe cook out and get some in Booyah. You toy. Well, folks, welcome to the OK Morning Rush. Our last guest is here. Last week we should have hosted him, but because of different schedules, the man, I see, anywhere you see PUP convoy like Samuel Koga, the man can be get 5 cars in a convoy. Everything PUP. The man getting too powerful here. I know. What PUP former chairman Azobi Bokakoli? Where man? Representative Samuel Koga.
Married to is in America.
Only king, the team where the way is over, then you go back. You will come back again.
No, you can't be.
A testing grind.
Every time, you know what I'm saying?
But Koga, I'm welcome you here. I'm welcome you before you start making plow. Representative Koga, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Judah, and good morning to all those listening this morning.
How is everything, by the way?
Well, God is the best. We want to be thankful to Him for He gives all what we need.
The politicians are clever. You play with them, man. Now you will preach it quick. When was the last time you went to your district, bossman?
Well, quite frankly, I think over a month. I haven't been there, but usually I visit Ganto. But I had team on the ground working consistently that are in touch with me.
How is the People's Unification Party too?
Yes, PUP is okay, very much well, and we are working, and our work is a kind of a consultative work. We are not kind of a flamboyant type that flies all over there. No.
You're working on the ground.
Of course, yes.
What role would you play in 2023? I'm really concerned. Have you gotten to the stage where you are very clear about whether you're pull off a presidential candidate or what?
Well, I can tell you for free that People's Unification Party will not prefer a presidential candidate. I always said it. I don't miss on my word, but we're serving as a determining factor in this country.
That's what you want to do.
Of course, yes.
As one of the parties that will break the axe.
Yeah.
Now, let's move to some of the real issues for which I've invited you. You've been concerned about next decision to postpone the Lofa County by-elections. Why you seem to be concerned about that when in fact the NEC took the decision as a result of the matter being court?
NEC does not have the authority to postpone election when they have given a timeline which is constitutional. The Constitution provides that whenever there is a vacancy at the House, whether at the Senate or the House of Representatives, the Speaker or the Pro Tem should inform the National Election Commission about the vacancy being created. And within 90 days, the Election Commissioner should put everything in place and inform the people about election to that identical locale and the time bound. And then you will tell the people when campaign will open officially. When that is done, if there is any other thing that could circumvent the process, either by full majority It is the House of Representatives, the Election Commission is supposed to write the House of Representatives. And the House of Representatives will have consultation. And then because it borders on constitutionality, for the common good or the well-being of the people, to have a resolution, because the power one way or other is vested in the House of Representatives, along with the Senate, to make a decision and declaring that yes, that place, because of XYZ, election cannot be held now. Or either by executive or order. And also the Supreme Court can also do that. But NEC to get up by itself and make a decision in that manner, it undermines the Constitution, and it also undermines those that have already invested their capital to campaign in that area. It's a setback. Who will pay those money that were playing in the campaign process? So the only way that can happen, if there is a budget shortfall in your requisition, you need to inform the House. But you can't sit by yourself and make such a decision. So in my mind, I believe that there is a politics.
The next year was the result of budget shortfall?
No, I'm saying if there is anything that has to do with budget shortfall or whatsoever circumstances surrounding the postponement of the election, she's supposed to write a communication.
So your point is the next you have communicated with you,
of course,
informing you, and then you will said you will give it another mandate.
Of course, yes.
But the mandate you gave the NEC is what the NEC is acting on.
No,
except that the matter is in court, so the NEC has no other alternative but to extend the process until the court can hear the matter and makes a determination.
No, only the court can tell NEC to stop. Only the court can say, because of the gravity of this issue, therefore we place hold on all election activities in Lofa County until the Supreme Court comes to a decision. But she does not have the power to unilaterally make a decision in such manner.
So what you want to do? Call her?
Of course she will be invited. And basically the issue of the election in Lofa, Clarence, people sitting and they're not saying the truth. The one started in the 80s in Nima. When Nimbayan was oppressed, depressed, people felt that the power that be had the opportunity that can come out with ethnic cleansing. And when such a thing happens, it had the propensity, like you tie or water, that you want to fish in the water, you tie. But the water has force. It will gravitate somewhere and bust aside, and the water will be coming down. What affects one county affects the entire country. When we are elected, at times people want to prolong in power, so they will play other games. People that they feel that they are powerful or they are populated, they will circumvent them one way or other. But the people that are electing these people are aggrieved. You will not know, but they will say it through their votes. The situation in Lofa, all Liberians need to come out and focus on it and make a decision. In the first place, Brandon Samukai knowingly, willfully, intentionally, vehemently, the Lofian realized that he was in court for criminal charges. Yet, he went to the election and boy elected him. The Constitution provides Article 1 that the power is inherent in the people. There where we expected the president to play his leadership role. By what? Giving executive pardon based on the mandate of the Liberian people that elected him to bring calm in our situation for peace and stability. Instead, the politics in the process, they subjected Browning, and his life was in a kind of a limbo situation. If you talk plenty in the election, we'll jail you. If you don't agree to sit down to make document one way or other, we'll jail you. So, and then now Browning, someone can move. Whether a woman cook gravy today and the government doesn't want him to eat the gravy, they will intimidate him. So he was coerced. He left the job. Now, he had decided that, well, the government is bigger than any other person besides God. Government, come down. So for this reason,
Well, it is a mandate of the government against the will of the people who elected me. So I would step down, but I would support a candidate. In that event, the government need to see reason to realize that what is happening, they need to intervene. Sitting down, and then one way or other, the similar thing is happening, like intimidating the net commissioner. The net commissioner, one day they will say the woman involved in corruption. She's been invited by LACC to be investigated.
That matter is I think she was clear of that, and I'm sure the government did they take a step. I'll read that.
But one way or other, you presiding over election, a crucial election where the ruling party may have had vested interests, and knowing that there is a candidate who may have likelihood to be potential in the process, and you are being one way or another going to quote back and forth whether you are acquitted or what have you, there must be some level of understanding. Influence is playing somewhere there. We got to be careful. This country belongs to us. Then when you leave from here, you go, I don't go, no, the court, there is an adjective attached to your name. Is this the way government is supposed to serve the people? If you don't agree to work with the government, they antagonize you.
But Koga, Constitution provides in Article 1 that all power is inherent in the people. There are a lot more what do I want to say? There are a lot more provisions in our Constitution that talks about prosecution of people committing crimes. Brani committed crimes that he could not go free for. The law took its course. I don't know how are you drawing the president into this. No. Brani was accused, he was investigated, he was convicted, he took appeal, Supreme Court heard his appeal, Supreme Court upheld the decision of the lower court. There are provisions that talks about that kind of thing and how that person is elected, cannot take a seat, and all these kinds of processes were exhausted.
They invoke Article, I think, 59, which is very tricky. But the fact, because the issue was the people and the law. The law is made for the people. Let me give you a case, Teddy. India Topa. When India Topa was murdered, allegedly murdered, the government couldn't establish physically who was the doer of the act. But they convicted somebody based on circumstantial evidence. You know why it came to be? Because the citizen converged at the court. They slept there. The action they saw from the citizen, the court, the judge, or a friend, he changed the verdict by convicting Hans William. You see how the citizen powerful? You understand? Because if the court had making decision in favor of Hans William, there would have been consequences. The one person that you free, you will be jailed more than 50 to 2,000 persons. Then it portray the government ugly. What I'm trying to say here is that, number one, to show to you that the people of Lofa are still resilient. Number one, Devil King Osa, which is it's red, R-A-R-E. It don't easily happen. It's a traditional authority that even has the power that when president is visiting a town or district, when they say, can you stop your convoy at that gate until the devil enter or whatsoever they want to go. The people came out as a mean of what? Protesting. You overlook it. You evaded their decision. A radio station that were doing normal businesses in the country. Perhaps their reportage may have been in favor of the government. I just assuming. So the opposition felt that, look, these people are not working in the interest of Lofa or Lufien. Will burn our place down. Government today is investing money to investigate those that did the act. And they are yet to be discovered. When those things are getting, coming in the country, we got to be careful. Don't underestimate.
That is an assumption anyway.
Yeah,
you just assume.
Yeah, don't
no facts about that.
So the problem here is.
So how do you want the government to move about this? Because the issue is in court right now. The government didn't take anybody to court. Instead, one of the individual in their whole CPP arrangement is the one that is seeking interpretation of Unity Party's participation in LOFA and not the government.
The presidency has so many powers to mitigate the problem. You understand? You can come up with a decision.
You're sounding very easy, as though there is something you're hearing that probably some of us are not hearing.
No, basically, what is happening in Lofa could happen in Grand Cru. It could also happen in Grand Jide or Nima County. We all live together, and we are within one society. What the problem that I realize in Liberia here is when people are given authority, they want to be untouchable. They want to behave like demigod and disregard the citizen that elected them. You know, there is a parable that says in Gio, it says, if you hated flour too much, you can remove the tendon over your soul. You understand?
What does that mean? Every time you sit down there, you're knacking?
Yeah. The fly sitting on your soul, you're too angry with the fly because it disturbing you. When next time you hit the soul now, the tendon move from where blood start coming out. So I'm saying it to say that let's agree that every citizen in this country has a right to contest. Now, you say you don't have vested interest in Lofa, but all of the hierarchy have gone in Lofa. As we speak, NEC has stopped the whole process, but people carrying campaign. It's also a violation. Nobody is commenting on it because what? It is the power that be.
They say they're doing community outreach.
It is that campaign. What is the difference between dead brains and mud?
Do you see the difference is, I mean, it depends on who you talk to. Some people say the depth stronger, some people say the...
But when you make dead brains out of, you know mud?
Koga, you can be hypothetical, yeah, man. You know? What do you see in the event the Supreme Court says constitutionally the Unity Party cannot participate and quote all of the laws?
The Supreme Court is the final arbiter of the law.
Mm-hmm.
And there is also a recourse when Supreme Court render a decision. Maybe you go to Equa Court and etc. But if the Supreme Court come out to make a decision, fine. She's the best suited person because it's a separate branch of government. But let the Supreme Court do their work. You understand what I'm saying?
But I see people doing that thing, so and then now you to accuse Kumi of forgery, Kumi Inko, Bwaka Sobo to go there to testify, Musa Bedete on the others are drag unit. That's also what I'm doing a thing.
My brother, I don't want to dive into that. What we're discussing is the issue of the election in Lofa.
Yeah, that is in we're discussing.
No, but
so I'm saying that's not a government are taking somebody to
court. The issue is before the Supreme Courts, you can't preach with judici.
Of course,
I can't make any comment on that because it's before the Supreme Court. I'm talking about the decision that was rendered by the Election Commission. She's not clothed with the authority to do so.
Okay, Koga, let's move on. Recently, there was an issue about PMC in Nimba. Civil Society Council wrote they wanted PMC records so that they can fact check some of the things the PMC and local government in Nimba says they've done. Up till now, that issue is still hanging. And then you people in Nimba were attempting to go for county sitting. And then in Bong was the same thing. Civil society challenged it at the Supreme Court of Liberia. Justice in Chambers asked them to go back and implement the local government act that provides the setting up of a council and all kinds of things before the sitting. What's your take on this new debate about the Justice in Chambers decision in Bong County that could affect almost all the counties? Because if Nimba dare announce county sitting now, people will go to Supreme Court.
The last law supersedes the previous law. PFM law provides that there should be election for PMC on every 3 years. And it also provides that there should be a county sitting within every year period, provided on the availability of county fund or county development fund or social development funds. And then In 2000, between 2016 and 17, I think the local government act came out and they have been passed into law. So automatically, the issue of county setting with respect to PMC information is mute.
So the local government act takes precedent.
Precedent. Now, the structure has been, if my memory serves me right, supposed to be 9-man council.
9-man council, yeah.
Now, out of the 9-man council, you need, I think, 2 or 3 chiefs. And they said the chief should be elected. In a corner of recent, other poor argument was that the chiefs, since 1980s, this election had not been held. So the chief then are there cannot be considered as chief. The argument lazy.
Why?
Very good. If hypothetically a vice president died in the Republic of Liberia, the president appoints a vice president. Automatically, the president assumed to be what? Vice president assumed to be elected person. It's clear.
That's what the law says. In the absence of the vice president, nobody.
I said when the vice president, when the president is seated.
Yeah, well, I say absent. It means the vice president dies.
Yeah.
The president will appoint vice president.
Of course.
I gotta go to the
That
constitution.
the president appoint the vice president and send to the Senate for confirmation. When that confirmation is made, automatically the person deemed elected.
In plus.
Yeah, it deemed elected. Now, if you never had election 10 to 25 years ago, but the position is an elected post, and people have been in that position, and at the time this man was Parliament chief, there was somebody who was under him as clan chief. When that person was clan chief, there was somebody under him as zone chief. When that person was zone chief, there was somebody under him as town chief. Now, if the zone chief dies, and the zone chief control 3 to 4 towns, the 3 towns or 4 towns will go together to make determination who to succeed the zone chief. When that person is recommended and is subsequently presented to the commissioner of the district for onward transmission, is an elected person. So those positions are elected. Article 56B of the Constitution says there should be election for all parliament, clan, and town chiefs. You understand? And it says here, and they can be re-elected. They can be removed from power only by the president by proof of misconduct. When your behavior is incompatible to the existence of the people you govern, and there is a numeral complaint against you where you were cited for investigation and dismissed, and discovered that you were guilty. They don't say the superintendent. They don't say the internal affairs minister. Because that position is an elected position, the president is the one who dismisses that person. And when the president dismisses, whosoever who or she that will go in that position, deemed elected. So as I speak, the Local Government Act, whosoever that assume the responsibility to achieve up to now.
Okay, Koga, you are correct. That
Okay.
that provision is in Article 63D.
Yes.
It says, whenever the office of the vice president becomes vacant by reason of death, resignation, impeachment, inability, or otherwise, the president shall,
Yes.
not may, shall, a binding by law,
Yeah.
the president shall, without delay, nominate a candidate who, with the concurrence
Of the
of
Senate.
both houses of the legislature, shall be sworn in and hold office as vice president until the next general elections are held. Whenever the vice president elect dies, resigns, or is incapacitated before being inaugurated, the president on the same ticket with him shall, after being inaugurated into office, nominate. Okay, so that's it. You are correct.
Yeah.
I was trying to. That's why I do a fact check.
So-
yeah.
That goes for the chiefs. People seeing filibustering here and there, saying S, Y, Z. Are they local government? Are they public?
So you say even though these chiefs now are not elected in plus,
Yes, they are sitting in the elected posts, and their successes depends on vacancy that were created. And in order to occupy that vacuum, they must look at one of the chiefs. You will never take somebody who had not been a quarter chief to main town chief.
but Koga, you know, the Minister of Internal Affairs would argue, and some people would argue that the implementation of the Local Government Act needs money. You know, The last time I spoke to the minister, he said, we ain't get money yet. You sit at the legislature. Don't you people know, with our Bond County going to court now, didn't you people know that the local government are supposed to be enforced? It's supposed to be a working material now. So, because the act provides a lot of things.
You know what's happening?
No.
Some lawmakers feel jittery. That will give power to the council.
Okay.
It will also give power to the superintendent.
But after all, why should you be jittery? That these are the people that elected you.
That's what I'm saying. Because the people will make a decision how your money will be spent. The people will make a decision whenever, like, for example, a vacuum is created in the county. Like a lawmaker.
Yeah, there are processes.
And you understand? So they will make some level of determination. So giving them the power, some people are afraid. Look, you see.
But you people were the same people who gave all the power. That thing was before you.
What I'm saying, when you are electable, don't be afraid. You see, the problem in this country, people feel that they should be in power all the time. And when you want to be in power all the time, then live the way the people live. Simple life. Don't make yourself big.
Some of you were at that legislature. The local government act came before you. You saw all the provisions.
United Nations was one of the brain. UNDP. There was a pressure on us.
It got a lot of good things in it.
Yes.
In fact, the way Nima big, you raise a lot of money. Some of the money stays there.
Decentralization. The internal affairs minister will control the security of the states. Like what as it's been done in other countries. Why are we delaying? We'll have district security council where the citizen will be allied to know about your well-being and your status, that they will be informed. And they will have the right to have citizen arrest based on the affording circumstances in the community. It's a very fine act.
So you support the implementation.
If I support it, then I can't talk about it.
Samuel Koga.
So, yeah.
Representative Samuel Koga of district number
5.
District number 5.
Yeah. I'm the defender for Nima.
What you call defender?
Oh, when you play
number 5. Jeremiah Kun coming for you. Hey, defender.
That man, let me tell you, we are.
The man are your man.
No, I can't. I'm not picking. Don't forget about being with all due respect.
Yeah, that your
I'm
brother.
not disputing.
That your late brother. Say it that way.
Yeah.
That way you can add more value.
But even if I say that about being.
That your junior brother. No, that your junior brother. Senator.
No, I gave him a flower as senator and I respect him.
I'm coming for you.
But I'm a late brother. Who? After lazy, he said the best scared of you. Small, big brother, be afraid of small man. You ever see that before? So I always told you that man, you gotta move for it, can be moving. Whatever your big brother did to you, that big brother. They say the big brother get ransom, but you let him have it. Because when you left it, when you want to trade your heart, call you say, tell me, I can't embarrass myself. And you see? So that's how it go. But if I'm doing something wrong, I'm not stopping him to say about it. I respect him as a senator and let him respect me as a representative.
That bridge you're doing that in your district? That big
No,
okay.
not in my district.
Okay, I think that in that main district.
District 2.
How do you call him?
Prince Tuba.
Prince,
Yeah,
in Prince district.
Prince OS Tuba.
Yeah, Prince.
But basically, once elections are
Prince
over,
110, Koga 110. Koga, now let's
but the third time issue that my people are the one that giving me the mandate.
That's why you can say,
No,
man.
and that's what I'm saying.
Koga,
I'm sitting
you
here.
don't know how to plan that team.
Let me. Oh, you sure?
Yeah, but you think we
You
know?
so when people go in the dark there to catch your ballot, I can be there.
You can be there.
So the
But
people make decision.
The decision that can make you contest. Most of the time, you can say that all people, some of you can buy your own gun, or the people can pull it on your back.
No. My popularity and the decision derived from La Côte d'Ivoire when I was refugees.
Okay.
I used to serve with I was numerator. From being a numerator, I was also a food distributor.
Okay.
In Côte d'Ivoire.
Okay.
We served the Liberian poor diligently. So
Is that how you became popular in your district?
Exactly. And my father was a chief.
Oh, Chief Koga.
Yeah, my father
What
was
kind
a
of chief?
Parliament chief. Are you a clan chief?
Clan chief.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You're son of a chief.
Yeah. So my father also was a sheriff in Sani Kole before becoming a chief. He assisted a lot of students that came from a district.
But you don't walk like chief son. That's certain way chief children can walk. I know it when they enter here, I would know. Once you're son of a chief, when you open the door, soon you ready to enter our
I'm not in any society.
No, I'm not saying
beside
society.
God.
Man, saying not in any society. But they got certain way, you know, the way a parent is a wall, the small walking stay on and they can walk that kind of way.
Oh, to be pompous.
Samuel Kuga, man.
No,
Let's move on. I know you with a little security background, security knowledge you have.
Yeah.
That one I know it for clear.
Yeah.
So let's move on to Grand Jita, then we can wrap up and take calls. Are you following the situation in Grand Jita about the mysterious disappearance of Duno, the neck official there? Recently, the people protested, they fired gun to disperse the crowd. I spoke to the superintendent. And that's how the whole Gaytegbe war started coming when one of the lawmakers say in the country they get some kind of thing that people can do. It can make you funny, it can carry you, it can come back. You follow that situation, do you think it has some implication? Is it reminding us about the Maryland scenario?
Under the Constitution, it is incumbent upon the government to protect life and properties. That's a fiduciary responsibility of the government. There is a reason why you have the security. And then the judiciary reprimand when somebody is arrested of an act, subsequently will be sent to court for prosecution. These are deterrents. These are deterrents. And the police, number one, they are not sophisticated. You understand? Sometimes if you get in a county, the police people that are there are push and start. How do they go on crime scene to investigate speedily? There are several issues, and then also interfering of security investigation interest. It's also causing discipline. There are several issues that is happening in the country. Even if the government is not in the know, the way in which they present the case, the security present it, people feel that the government is involved. You understand what I'm saying? Whether it is not, look at Batten case. The former, how do you call it, how do you call that?
Where?
Batten.
The internal audit agency?
Yes. Look at the killing of Elijah Roman. They say the man fell from the upstairs building, he broke his neck. But nobody was there basically to tell, no eyewitness report, but the government said that the condition they saw the man, he fell from the building. If you saw the step,
and the government, I think a pathologist reporter.
Oh man. Pathologist. Who supervise and who is the person who make clear, information.
No, but pathologists are professional people. They have no reason to lie. They say what no, but they are
foster terror because
their work is based on science.
No, I agree.
Huh?
How do you determine that the man came from upstairs? From the bloodstream, or because the neck was broken?
That's why you don't know.
But listen, let me tell you something. There are so many ways people can die. Through suffocation, I can grab you and put you in a car. Or moving, will turn your neck, will do it.
The pathologists can discover that.
They can discover easily.
They can discover that. They will do an autopsy.
I don't want us to go into
They will do an autopsy. They will establish that your neck was broken.
I'm not a medical practitioner, but I am telling you that the way things are going, people, the citizen, why would the government conduct autopsy on a dead body? Then the citizen, the family members say, we don't trust that. I want you to understand what I'm trying to underscore. It's dangerous. There is no other person on this planet Earth that should provide security and hope for the people than the government.
And the government includes you in the legislature.
I agree. No, but there is a division of labor.
Yeah.
And they got departmentalization.
Yeah, you make laws.
The security, the executive enforce the law.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. So, we are saying that these are the laws that you're supposed to follow. The law have been, in ITE. We provide the fundings. You understand? Because normally, we're supposed to be the one to grab the budget and tell the person, you come with your report, we want to see and give you the. But instead, we sat and saw our responsibility out to the executive. The executive can't sit down and say, and they can sit down on TTO. The superintendent in Nimakande doesn't know how the budget is made, but they can make determination on how many is supposed to get on a year for a budget. Could you imagine?
Yeah, because you allow the executive to usurp your function.
But I'm saying it now, we saw our budget.
So we should clear all of you out of that place.
But if the citizen the issue of election.
No, not evil. We should clear all of you all, because if you allow the executive to usurp your function, you shouldn't be there. We should clear you out.
To you, that everybody.
Oh, including Koga. Oh, you want to exempt yourself?
No, but the determination is decided by the citizen. They know because they're watching our process.
The people of Buyao know. We'll go there to tell them that Koga then also there.
I want you to go in Buyao and tell the person we saw.
Because you have mesmerized the people.
How? You can put 100% in order to control them before you talk about 24,000 or more than 41,000 inhabitants. It's difficult. God, look, this position.
Koga, are you worried about the security of the state?
Well, for me, as an individual, I don't worry because from my backgrounds.
I mean, not for yourself.
Yeah, okay. But the government is the one that making people to look at them ugly. Some of these issues, they are innocent of it, but the way they handle it. Like, for example, there was a guy who was advocating for a princess. And then somebody came out and said the guy went missing. Within a few days, they say the man was involved in a motor accident. It was the police who discovered that the man was involved in motor accident and the man taken to GFK who informed the family. And we understand what I'm saying. So the family do not know that their son left the house. And if he gone missing, how? The government need to know the time he left the house. As a family member, when did he leave the house? And where did he say he was going? These are leeway questions that can provide information to the security investigation. All those things. You got the National Security Agency. That is a plainclothes organization. They could go and sit down in a bar or skin you sharp around the community. You will hear people saying things. But at times, if there is anything that somebody who want to be like a Bugu man or B-man influencing it, they will be afraid.
Okay. Nimba County Representative Samuel Koga is national chairperson of the Opposition People's Unification Party. He's our guest this morning. Let's talk to you now on 0777 700 995 0777 142897 and 555 995 995. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Good morning to your senior guests. My name is Frederick, and I speak to you from New Georgia.
Yep.
Let me appreciate the Honorable Mayor in studio. I've been following most of the time. He articulated the issue of the country so well that even the local will understand. Now, he said something I like so much in your last night. When you start fishing in the water, when you build the place in the water, in the river, come a lot of force. The issue in Lufa, the killing of the people getting missing seriously, the kind of government is taking it. This thing must carry this country back. If we are not careful, the government is sleeping on it. It's not for one person, Tomas, there's very much afraid. There's my second seen it. It's not for one person. The issue of Lufa, the kind of people are dying in this country is too much. If we're not careful, we must return right back to the darkness. There's a boy from the Koga there. He must be an opposition black, but he makes a lot of sense when he articulates the issue of this country. I want to say thank you to him so much, and let him continue on behalf of this country.
Thank you. Let's go here. Hello.
Morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Thank you. I'm Musa Konen, and I call from the Cocoa House in the Freeport of Monrovia.
The CDC B-man, go ahead.
Yeah, CDC big man, no problem.
Yeah. Oh, but prior there, I'm talking the truth. Go ahead.
I mean, let's confusion, Benny,
Go ahead, ba.
Okay, so I called to greet the big brother in studio, and to also say thank you to the people of Buyao District for their hard work, and I'm always proud to be in Buyao when I'm in Buto, when I'm in man play, Dia play, as far as Gorman play. I see a lot of agricultural activity, and that brings a lot of pride and happiness to me. And Buyao is the highest cocoa producing belt in our country.
Really?
However, yeah, it is. However, I feel sometimes very disappointed when I listen to the representative speak the way he speaks. I mean, he comes to the radio with a lot of security knowledge. I think very educated, but he doubts the sign. To even doubt the ability of the pathology or autopsy report for me is a dangerous sign. I think he's speaking the way he speaks because he thinks he's on the opposite side, and that is the way. And that's the reason why Karen will have to be very careful. If somebody is listening to him, doubting autopsy report, questioning the credibility of professional people, the citizens, the voters of this country will emulate, I want to call it emulate, or imitate the way he speaks.
Okay,
and that will give our country a very difficult situation. So I hope you will speak like a leader and stop doubting people's professional career all because of politics. It's wrong.
Okay. I don't know what I cook. I got cocoa fine in Buyao. Let me go right here. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
This is Daniel Sando, and I'm following the conversation this morning from the traffic.
They were the party man, yeah.
I just want to commend Honorable Koga because I have no doubt that he has an in-depth understanding about many issues. He's one of the lawmakers who have been very outstanding at the Liberian legislature. But before I go further, I'd like to correct Mr. Musa Kane to say that the honorable man erred by casting doubt on the autopsy report. I mean, this country is such that we are going to forget. There was a landmark case that went to the Supreme Court, the Injured Tuba case. You remember? Do you know that every autopsy that was conducted on Injured Tuba body contradicted the other one? So these pathologists are not in casting stone. Okay? You recall very well that Anthony Quay, who was the government pathologist conducting the first autopsy, he said Injured Tuba died as a result of aphasia secondary to hanging. When President Sadi said it was unacceptable, they did another report that she died of strangulation. The other people came from the Nebraska School of Forensic Science in America gave a different report. So pathology have contradicted themselves in the country, so the honorable man has the right to, based upon experience, to even doubt what was done to Princess Copper body. The police officer, the spokesperson of the Liberian National Police, what did he say? He said from initial investigation there was no foul play. That alone undermines the entire investigation. Okay? So I just want to say that the point he made on the security issue of the state, and he made a very important point by saying the way the government goes about handling the issues. This young man who was advocating for the death of against the mysterious death of Princess Copper went missing. Why didn't the government of Liberia announce that there was an accident that happened on 15th Street and the body was deposited at the JFK hospital? Why didn't the government do so? The government waited for the family to put up a missing person alert. After Sarah did, we say, the mayor looking for a body to JFK. That's suspicion. So the way the government is proceeding, I think both of them can be tied to incompetence because
didn't the government or the police present the other guy who were involved in the accident with the deceased?
Which deceased?
The guy who died.
Patrick,
Clarence.
Clarence, I'm saying to you that the issue of this accident that occurred mysteriously on 15th Street didn't come to the public until the family put up an announcement.
Okay, thank you there, Daniel Sano. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Clarence.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is wrong. I will leave you there. This caller has been here forever long. Okay, let me take him. Hello?
Good morning,
Good morning.
Clarence.
Yeah.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Yeah, Clarence, I've been here for very
That's why I said. That's why I'm thinking you now. Yeah.
By the way, Clarence, I'm way more leaky and according for time this morning. Clarence, first and foremost, let me commend Honorable Koga for his far-sightedness, his thought, on national issues. You see, Clarence, Honorable Koga struck one of the very important issues that the National Election Commission haven't declared campaign open, or CDC started pre-campaigning since the beginning of 2022. You see, Clarence, all the LSC poll
across the country carry wire for 2023 inscription on it. In Lofa, there is no government facility without wire for 2023 rating on it. You know, I mean, these are all indication and the clear violation of the election law. And
Okay.
the media.
Thank you. We've spoken about that. I know Julius talk about that. I was going to Lofa. I saw many of those posts. Hello?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah?
How are you? Good morning.
I'm okay, yeah?
Yeah, my name is Kindness. I'm Kindness living phoning from 636.
Yeah, Kindness, let's hear you.
Yeah, let me say a big thanks to the honorable man.
Mhm.
Good morning, Lokoga.
Good
He's
morning, sir.
listening.
Good morning.
Yeah, I mean, look, let me say the problem this is now, but the country is in problem. And we, the journalists, said in the white issue, we're not prioritizing our priority. Look,
Wait now. No, wait. When you say the journalist said, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that what we learn, what we actually went to school and then learn, we are not putting it into practice. Very real.
Listen, for example, lead up plenty of school business, for example.
Yeah. Okay, today, if you watch all of the show, people will be talking about, you know, if a political party, how government, how they taking each other to court, and which of course is important, but the primary important thing, the priority thing in Liberia now, we're supposed to discuss relatively is the material debt, and what's happening in the country is not correct. Let's put our
Bossman, wait now. Wait. Chief. So you followed my show this morning. Am I not talking about the grand jury? Am I not calling some of the stakeholders that involved?
Just many of the journalists,
Hey, but don't praise me alone. Other journalists are talking about, hey, why you make it look like something happening in the country and no journalists talking about it? Then you say only you. No, not me alone. Other journalists are talking about it. Let's leave it right here and go back to Koga. No time now. Let's give Koga the 4 minutes. Koga, you heard the colors.
Yeah, the gentleman, I know Musa, is a very fine gentleman that I know, and he always in my district because he involved with the Cocoa project and whatever. I think he give a testimony. But he's a CDC, he make it clear he don't hide himself. So anything you say that will go contrary, whether it's good or not, he will support that. So I don't
No,
have
that man can speak on issues on that.
let me agree. So the issue of pathology, I make it clear to you, I say I'm not a medical practitioner, so I don't want to go into that much. You understand? I only said did a measure. I said the step, the flow of that where the gentleman fell from. That he said he purportedly dropped from and the neck got broken. You know, is something that can be disputed. I respect the pathology when they're conducting autopsy. But when at times information is provided, the way in which the government manage the information technology is a serious problem. The government should be able to always be proactive to inform the public at every step of the investigation. You're not doing surveillance. If you're doing surveillance, then you say we cannot diverse intelligent information to the public. But something that claimed the attention of the states, which had to do with alleged murder, you need to be informative. Because you are the only person that the citizens looking up to make decision to put food on the table one way or the other. So that's my point. I mean, that's my concern. The issue of what is happening in Lofa, I reiterate. In Lofa, you got people from Nima, from Bon, from every part of Liberia that reside in those areas. So if the ruling establishment feels that they can win, you got people from Grand Rue in Lofa County. They can make the determination, but give the free hand to the people to make determination as to who will represent them. You understand? Who? Now, you're not blind, you're not bright. You say you're not profiling your Kennedy, but you're supporting your Kennedy. You understand? It's a stage of denial. If the person win, they say, we the one made a man to win. If he lost the election, they say, that man guy, for the mental problem, they can't report that what they rejected him. So why you can propose he can the one for her? Just say, I'm not kidding. Yeah. And what they are doing to feel that because Joseph Boakai could be, quote unquote, the most popular person in Lofa, or he hailed from Lofa. And you understand? Therefore, they should mount immense pressure in Lofa to subdue the people and show to them that CDC has say in Lofa.
Is that the case?
That is a disrespect.
Is that the case?
That what happening?
What you think?
Yes, that what happening. Let me tell you something. It's like somebody, you have been broke in your whole entire life. Then somebody, when your mother died, either from a sickness or whatsoever, then a millionaire appear to you that, look, the only thing I can do for you, and you won't be say, just give me 1 hour or 2 minutes, let me drag your mother body in the streets, and you'll be rich for your life. It's diminishing.
Okay, Koga, thank you so much for coming. NEMA representative Samuel Koga was our guest on the second and final portion of this edition of the OK Morning Rush on 99.5. This is how we draw down the curtains. God's willing, tomorrow morning we'll be back here. 9 o'clock, Bon County Representative Prince Moi will be our guest tomorrow. My name is Clarence Jackson. Bon County Senator, rather. Oh, I'm sorry. He used to be Deputy Speaker. See, I'm still thinking now. Bon County Senator Prince Moi comes in 9 o'clock tomorrow. Thanks to all of you, man. Bye-bye.